Hallelujah! Oh, son of a preacher man. Doing it last night. He said he's breaking his silence. How we feeling, everybody? How we feeling on this beautiful Sunday? Hopefully, if you're in the state of Florida, you didn't have any pipes freeze. You didn't have any dogs outside, kitties outside. Okay, because it got colder than I don't even know what. I'm like, what is going on? So hopefully you guys had a great evening. We were up late. We were up past curfew on these YouTube streets. I had a ball. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, them pop-up lives are always fun. Okay, those pop-up lives are always fun. Let's make sure we do an audio check real quick here because sometimes things happen. This is a live show. Be prepared for things to happen. All right. And before I get started, let me remind everyone that I do commentary on videos that are public viewing. This is based on my opinion. Anyone that I speak about today, please do not show them any hate. Do not harass, dox, make videos about them, and harass them from being from me. Okay. No one speaks for me. I speak for myself. Okay. Please be curious in the chat. If you do not agree with someone's opinion, then that's okay. Don't attack the person, attack the argument. Okay. We don't allow children's names to be discussed. We don't allow people's addresses to be in the chat. Okay. So my moderators are here. I appreciate you taking your time today, each and every one of you. If you see some boo messiness, no timeout, just block, and then we'll deal with it later. Okay. So let's get to it here because I have pulled some footage and it took me a long time too. Like I was up and then up this morning trying to find my things. Okay. So I'm prepared, but not as well as I wanted to be. But that's all right. Okay, that's all right. So let's go ahead and replay crew. You did not hear the Son of the Preacher Man song. That will be edited out. I do have a goal set today because it is the first of the month, and we got to pay our bills over here. And as people that's been around here know, once the amount of money that's needed to run the channel is met, the goals do not appear anymore. I don't set it. Once we're clear, we're ready to stream for the month, baby. All right. So anyone that does help support the channel, it's always appreciated and never expected. All right. So let's bring this up. And the other way that's free to help is just to like the video and subscribe. So that's another way that helps. All right. So we're going to share this. Oh boy. Okay. So I recorded this last night while it was going on. And when we get to the part that we watch, then we'll stop. This is not my content. This is Dad Talks Today content. We're reviewing it under the Fair Use Act. There we go. Okay, can we see it? We can see it. Yay for us. All right, let's get to playing here. We'll go through the...
It's been crazy, man. And I'm just gonna, I'll say something else up front, guys. I turned the comments off, live chat and all that, because there's been so many people that took this, made a circus out of it, and they went into business for themselves. I feel like I've been exploited, Mark. My personal information has been put.
That's interesting. That's very, did you hear what he said? He feels like he's been exploited. Do you answer in the chat? Do you guys think that he's been exploited? He come out the gate saying that he feels as if he's been exploited. Huh. Interesting.
Put out there. I've had my family harassed, had my friends harassed. These narratives have been going out there. They've been doing this longer than I had any affiliation with that last year.
And actually, we have been reviewing content longer than he was there. Absolutely. Absolutely, we have. Absolutely. But whenever you put up public videos for public viewing, that's what's going to happen. That's what social media is. That's what YouTube does. We have the right to review for educational purposes or entertainment purposes. And that's what this channel is. Now, I can tell you I've never reached out and harassed any of your family members because I don't go that way with things. I just don't. That's crazy to me.
You realize that, right? They've been, and like people came out of nowhere and like no factual basis for nothing, dude. And it's crazy because right before we came home, Charlie Kirk got killed. And guys, I'm going to be a little slow, probably talking. There's going to be some pauses because it's another direction. You don't even know the cast of characters. Would you say so, Mark?
They want to be one of the cast of characters.
They want to, but they don't even know.
No, they're reaching for their 15 minutes of fame, and it's over with.
And dude, I
don't know if it's about fame. I believe that it's about reviewing the content and watching and reviewing something that could have made a difference. Oh, okay. Anyways, we're going to keep going because we got to pull these receipts.
Everything in my power to try to just like go in the opposite direction.
And we won't listen to the, we'll skip through because some of this stuff isn't about the situation at hand. And let me also say, everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Just because someone's arrested or could potentially be arrested doesn't mean that they've been found guilty in a court of law. Due process. We have justice systems and they're going to decide who's guilty and who's not guilty. Now, we can give our opinion, but we're not over here accusing anyone of being guilty. The justice system will.
Like this was my heart and my passion right here, was talking about the dads. And me and you have been almost at every state in the country, man. Walking the hallways and helping people. That's what we do.
If this hat could speak.
Oh my dear Jesus, man. If any of these people had an ounce of integrity, they could have spent 30 minutes doing the research and they would have seen that. It's not what they wanted. With this story, there wasn't nobody I saw that actually wanted truth. They wanted sensationalism. Because it's sensational, dude.
Yeah.
Sensationalism and whatever keeps the controversy going so they can monetize it.
Let me make sure that I
tried staying just completely silent for a while, and I wasn't in a position to be able to do that. Guys, this is what I did for a living. I was a content creator. And I try my best to do the best that I can and help people.
So, he lets us know that he's a content creator. So did you start Now I have some questions, and these are legit questions. First, I got to make sure because I think that we have. I have to edit this. Because I don't want. Okay. Because I don't want anyone can participate, and I got to change it on the other. So my. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now we should. Okay, so we have two streams going, and that's what YouTube is doing now. There we go. So now we'll get some, we probably got some trolls in there, but
Imperfect person.
not now. Anyways, let's get back to it. I fixed it. All right. So he says that he's a podcaster. Now, my question to you, sir, and this is a legitimate question. Do you think that any time that you told stories about custody and you made a business off of that? I don't know. People can look at that the same way. My channel was existing before Whitaker family. You got involved. So, okay.
I make mistakes at times, but I can tell you this. I stand by 100% everything I've done.
Okay, so dock that. Docked. Everything he's done, he stands behind. Okay.
And hopefully one day, Mark, time will be able to tell this story in a way that I haven't been able. There are so many people, after we got the news a couple of weeks ago, that you got the same way everybody else did. Social media, right? Let's be honest. I'll tell you what I was doing. My brother had actually called me and said, Eric, would you play Call of Duty with me? You know, that's how we as men get together.
Okay.
And while we was talking, he was like, Eric, I just got a message and you might want to know about this. It's like, what is it? He said, they're saying you're in jail. I'm like,
that's right, folks. Said that he was in jail. So let's listen.
Really? I was like, man, it's convenient to be able to kill zombies on Call of Duty, you know, from jail. It's like, what in the world is going on?
So we know who said that, right? Two people actually said it. We're going to show it. Let me stop it. Oh, this isn't the right one. So just for our general purposes, which one is this? That's not it. The next one. I had to send these to myself, so I did it twice. I'll download it again, I guess. Okay. That's not it. So we know that Justin had mentioned that he was arrested, right? And then a creator with a larger channel than Justin also got up and mentioned the same thing. So I don't know why it keeps playing this one. It's playing the same one over and over again. Live show. That's what it is, folks. See if this one's it. Nope. Well, you guys seen the where Toddy had pulled up. I wanted to show it. Hang on. I want to show this because a lot of people are like, no one said that. That's not what was said. It was said. Okay. It was said. And we're going to play it in this. Yes, we are. I think Hillbilly might have had it too. Oh, God. If Hillbilly's in here, do you have a clip of it saying that Eric Carroll was arrested? because I only have the other one that I was searching deeply for. Let me see if Hillbilly has it. Let me get in the chat. You guys seen it, right? Yes, it was said. Yes, it was said. So everyone's agreeing. Yes, ma'am, I have it. Okay. So I'm going to go over to Hillbillies real quick and find it because we want to play it. I had it too. I clipped it and I don't know why I'm not finding it. But it's all right. I'll find it as soon as I get off of here. So let's scroll down here. I'll show you guys this. I'll bring it up on the stage so you guys can see it. And we'll start right back. Do you know the name of it, honey? So this is Hillbilly's channel. Okay, Patrick, Tillin APS. I'm sure it's down here. I think this might be it. All right, so there you go. That was said. So I know it was something, a lot to look, share this instead. That was a lot to get through, but I got to show receipts, right? Oh, I didn't add it to stage. Hang on, let me add it to stage and play it again. So it was a lot to go through just to show proof, but hey, this is what you have to do, right? This is what you have to do. Make sure you guys are seeing it. Okay, here we go. I made that mistake the other day too. All right, here we go.
You got to stop it.
Okay, let's go down and go to the next.
I don't know who's here. Eric Carroll got popped too. Eric Carroll got popped too. Who's catching on? Who's catching on? Hey.
All right, so that was clearly stated. It was clearly stated, right? So I got to show the receipts. Yes, Hillbilly is the keeper of receipts. So there it is. It was said, and he did not like that. He was playing Call of Duty. So let's continue.
No, man, then my phone started going.
You're like, I'm not Don Lemon. Sorry.
No,
I'm free.
And I'm going to tell you, dude, there was a lot of emotions that went into me that day, Mark. I heard from you every day, Jeff Morgan, same way. But there were a lot of people that knew me that had been around. And it was like, there were some really dark days there, brother. Really dark days. And I was like, where are they at? You know, the biggest thing is, and I want to say this right away. Again, guys, I'm going to be a ping pong ball.
Oh, yeah, he definitely was.
It's my turn.
And next time, your buddy Mark needs to write like some bullet points and stick on it because it was a ping pong. Yes. Can I email you, Lady Gay, if you need me? I got it, baby. Thank you. I appreciate you, though.
I've heard all the BS. It's my turn.
Like Nick Shirley in front of Congress. Everyone thinks he's a bad guy too.
I mean, I don't know why. Here's the problem that I have. I'm not understanding why. Hey, Nazarene, good to see you. I don't understand why people of political stature is being compared to Eric Carroll. In my opinion, and just my opinion, completely different lanes here. Completely different lanes here. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but completely different lanes. But okay, continue.
Well, I have to sit on the outside and look in. If I was trying to find out about a story and then I get online and this is the information that I'm being fed, you know, that must have been really convenient. I mean, again, man, I did my best to try to just go another way. I went to try to talk about dads, and then people would either bring up this situation or they try to make it about themselves. I could have turned the comments off at any point in time. I didn't do it. And what really gets me, you know, dude, even mobsters back in the day, gangsters, like some of the worst people in the world, they had a code. Could have been doing like some of the worst operations in the world, but you still didn't mess with people's family. You know, I made a video about
Thanks,
what she's going through right now. No matter where you're at on the political spectrum, guys, can we take the politics out of it for a second? This woman's husband was killed. but it wasn't
You said, let's take the, no. Okay, we're going to skip past
just.
it.
All right.
So not only should she just
Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and I send my condolences to his wife. This, in my opinion, has nothing to do with what has happened in Odd West Virginia. That's why I'm choosing to skip over it. It isn't because of a political view, who I like or who I dislike. Okay, I'm here for the Whitaker information and Whitaker information only. So thank you.
is her husband. They don't have their. They love their daddy. This is going to help. Here's a thing, dude. People will do anything to get that attention. And the sad thing is, as bad as that might sound for that person putting that narrative out there, it got viewed like crazy because the people eat it up.
Aren't you getting a divorce too?
We're like in a real life episode of the Jerry Springer show, bro.
Yeah, you're supposed to be getting a divorce too.
Oh yeah, dude.
So we have that clip.
And on methadone.
I'm not supposed to even be able to talk right now.
All right, so we have that clip and we're going to share it too. Okay. Gotta share the file. So here's what he's talking about. Let's remove this and stop sharing that. Okay, I'm gonna bring this one up. Video file. All right. Oh, and I probably could have found it in here. I only saved it 6 times. Oh my goodness.
That's what kind of person Eric Carroll is. And now that
I do
the woman
too,
19
actually.
has called me saying that she's wanting out of the marriage with Eric, she's volunteered me all kinds of information and a lot of good information. So she told me as soon as they lock Eric up, she's filing for divorce. That's what she told me, folks. Sorry, but that's the truth.
What?
And here's my reply to that.
How do you, damn it, Big Ugly. You didn't talk to Eric's wife. I don't even know if this is true. I'm not saying Big Ugly isn't telling us the truth, but holy smackaroonie. Are you sure you're talking to the wife on it? Lord, that's a hell of a thing to tell somebody, right? Mm.
All right, so there's that. Okay, bring that down. Remove from studio, and then we'll bring back. All right, share this. So there's the proof to that that was said. Not that I'm proving what he's saying is wrong, but this is, you know, we got, did it happen? Is it true? Or what you're saying, right? Because some people don't know all of it. All right, a lot of things happen on Facebook too that I don't know about. I have no idea. I don't do Facebook. I was streaming, dual streaming, but they don't like my language, so off with that.
I'm supposed to be slurring my speech. I'm on methadone, remember?
Yep.
And my wife is leaving. I've never taken methadone in my life, Mark.
Yeah.
You know, the sad thing about that is, man, I'm 16 years sober. I did have an extended period of opiate addiction.
Hey, Sassy.
It started years ago. I get tonsillitis. Used to. I don't know why I don't anymore. I used to get tonsillitis 3 or 4 times.
So he said that he had opiate addiction in the past and all of this. So I don't know where that rumor originated at. I have no idea. So there's that.
My tonsils right now, not going to open them up. I can, but they're the size of golf balls. And I went to my doctor, and he knew I didn't have much money. He sent me home with some samples. I don't know if any of you ever had your.
I have to do with this. I need to fix my torn back muscle.
And each bottle was like the equivalent of 2 Vicodins. But he didn't give me 1 bottle. He gave me 2 cases, 24 bottles. And I remember after the first time taking that, dude, it was like one of the best feelings in the world. And I suffer with severe depression and stuff. It was like, this is who I'm supposed to be. This makes me feel good. And that just turned into a spiral. And it was that feeling. And I didn't want to bring shame on my dad, dude. I hid it. I tried to hide it so much, man. I would rather die than have someone look down on him, you know, but it was one of those moments. You know, the thing with drug addicts, man, nobody can force them to want to get sober. You have to want it. And I hit my rock bottom. I wanted it. I didn't go to jail or anything. It was like, I can't do this anymore. And I kicked it. But I'll tell you this, man, that is one of my accomplishments in life. I don't hide behind that. I've talked about it on Dad Talk numerous times. Do you know how many people I've helped get off of the pills, Mark? I love doing that because it can happen to anyone. Anyone. If you take those long enough and then you stop taking them, the withdrawals and stuff, you'll do anything to not feel that. And
Well, I
Big
mean,
Pharma kills just about more people
Okay.
from sponsor the news.
no.
How many of those victims did you see in the headlines? Political, it's race involved, and it gets the people doing this. And for anybody like, why are they talking? I want to know about the Whitaker stuff because it plays in here. That's what's went on here. Sensationalism. What can we do for the clicks?
I mean, this is social media. This is what happens. I don't think it has to do with the way the political stuff is viewed. That's a whole nother, that's a different lane. That's why I was so confused. Were you guys confused why a lot of the politicals were brought up here? The little political digs, and I don't even know. I'm like, I'm so lost. Like, I was lost in the sauce.
And the accusations and stuff. And you know, at any point in time, I could have went on, got the platforms, and oh, this is a lie, this is a lie. They love it when you do that because they say, oh, I got a reaction, right? And so it was 2 days after that I said that about Erica, about how you don't mess with people's family. And then some creep goes and starts saying that my wife had contacted him and she's planning on leaving me when I go to jail very soon and all kinds of crap, man. Nobody was more pissed off about that than my wife.
Yep.
And you know, there you go again. I could have brought her on. You want to hear from her? She's the main reason I'm still here. I've wanted to give up on this so many times, dude. And she's always that person that checks me. She's like, I know your heart. I know what you do this for. Yes, it sucks right now, but you'll get through it. And why would you, like, dude, the fact that I'm sitting here and can talk to you guys and that I can go in there and take care of my family and hug my daughter before I go to sleep tonight and help my wife around the house and help with the bills, that's got you angry? You wanted me in jail for what? Because of the bull crap that you've made up? But think of, like, I think people are just so disconnected from reality, Mark, because they're on the other side of the screen. You know, there's nothing personal about doing this right here. Nothing. They would, even some of the ugliest things, they would never talk to that person in real life like that. Ever.
It's not just jail. You were getting death threats too. I mean, you had to have the sheriff come by your house every night and do a check. I was there.
And that's why this guy's so important to me. It's not speculation. You can call it whatever. He was there. Death threats. Then one night I see my phone number.
Hey, Runaway
my personal
Drew, good to
information leaked
see you.
online.
Getting doxxed. Yep.
You was with me. After midnight, kids got to go to school the next day. I've got the cops here at my header. And I got to be.
So he says, he goes on and says the police had to go. He was doxxed. I don't know if he was doxxed. Like I said, I think a lot of things happened over on Facebook because if you guys remember, that's where Mr. Rorick's video started at, was on Facebook. And that's probably why I didn't see a lot of them in the beginning because I don't do Facebook. Like I just don't. So I think that maybe some things went down over there on Facebook. I don't know.
Have been trampled on. And I'm no simpleton. Don't take my silence for weakness. Don't. With those threats and with that, I sent emails and I tried to contact the area where these were coming out of. Not even a reply, Mark. Not even a reply. My home, where I live, and let me say something. I haven't always been the biggest fan of them. That's another time, another story. And it's nothing compared to, like, nothing compared to the stories that you get up there. I'm just, anyway, don't want to go in that direction. But when I came home and they knew what was going on with me, 2 to 3 times a day, answer the door. Mr. Carroll, are you okay? Anything.
Okay, so they check on him. All this, that's good. The
track
police check on him. We understand that. Okay, and this is his story, and he has a right to tell it on his, and it's his platform, right? This is not my content. This is Eric Carroll on Dad Talk Today. So, you know,
down and say, hey, here's what's really going on. Oh, by the way, if you need help, you can stay here in our cabin or stay here in our Airbnb, or, you know.
The dynamics are so crazy, guys. So crazy. One thing I want to say, I got a lot to say. So, and I'll probably repeat myself on a lot. It's my turn to speak. One thing that I wanted to do from the very beginning, when people are making this content, you're talking about human beings here. And I felt like that area, not just, you know, the other subject, but the people in that area, it had been built to look like white trash USA. Just hillbilly, no good trash. That was the impression that it gave me. Still does, if you kind of look it up. Go looking for it, you'll see it. And I hate that because as much animosity as I have in my heart right now and could try to do the same thing because I feel like I've been wronged, I met some of the most beautiful human beings out there, man. So freaking nice. We
okay, so we met beautiful human beings. That's
Airbnb
good.
we were staying at. People found us. Me particularly. But again, they were surprised.
Right.
They wanted us to know you're onto something. You're onto something.
This is Mr. Carroll's opinion about what he thinks they put out here. I think that West Virginia is a beautiful country, and I have never actually met it, been to West Virginia. I've seen the videos. I did some research on West Virginia. Beautiful people, beautiful country. So do I think that a pandemic of some sort went through there with opiates because of the coal mining industry and people got hurt? Some people never even made it out alive. I think that did take a big toll on a lot of communities there, and that's unfortunate. And the people that ran these coal mine industries have never had to really pay a price for anything, and that sucks.
And you need to be careful.
I mean,
Maybe I'll let you tell, Mark.
well, we left the area because we thought it was getting a little hot. So let's go south a little bit and go to a hotel. And we walk into the hotel and anonymity gone immediately. So we then leave that hotel. Someone else helps us
Tell
out.
about the housekeeper at the hotel.
Yeah, we walk in and there's something wrong with the AC. And so
it blows my mind that he was on social media. He's seen the view count that they were getting. Okay, he's seen the view count with the viral family because they were put online by Mark Latea, and he didn't think that people were going to start recognizing him. Really? Okay, so you didn't really think about the repercussion and ramifications of putting yourself right in the middle of a viral family. That's interesting to me that your mind didn't go there. Interesting, sir.
Housekeeping, and sweet lady, she walks in
Very
and just,
sweet.
oh my God.
She was treating me like Elvis.
Yeah. Here we're trying to be anonymous and be like, okay, let's just get out of the county a little bit because it's heating up, and we're in a random hotel off the highway. No one even knows where we're at.
Okay, and someone's seen him in that.
hotel.
Yeah. I was gonna buy
Okay,
my supper.
people
nuts,
fought
right?
over buying the
Nothing,
supper.
but there's some challenging situations up there that I will not deny. But don't judge a book by its cover, and you might need to look a little bit further into it. You're talking about a country area with people who I feel like have been taken advantage of. Not to make this a history show, but it's a coal mining state. What happened?
Yeah, and he
Years
just knows
ago,
about the
mines
coal
went in,
mining.
you made
Okay.
it, I believe in that area. And the other thing is, like, dude, I didn't, first time, I didn't know what to expect. Man, it was beautiful up there, bro.
About it, and I'm like, I
There's a
don't even know where
reason
that's
it's
at.
There's a
I watched
reason. I just wanted to get that out, man, because I had that feeling.
Going
I
back.
didn't even think about that one, dude.
But you were the first one that was trying to give them their dignity. Everyone else was just making money off of them. And you can't expect, like I said, I'll defend Mark Lay to the ends of the earth because he's a good guy. And if you expected him to do a little more than he did, that would be like expecting him, because his office is just outside of Skid Row, to take care of the 150,000 homeless on Skid Row. He brings attention to it.
Yeah.
And he actually raised money. And that's another situation that we can talk about certain aspects of it. But you're the only one. You're there for 3 months and you're the bad guy. Mark been there since 2003.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I tried even back then to keep his name out of it because
Can't.
well, I can sympathize with him more than ever now because one thing or expression I say a lot is you got to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Well, I know what it's like to be in those shoes. And after the work that he did, I feel sorry for the guy. And I don't want him to get dragged into this. Back in the day when people tried to bring it up, I tried to just let it go in one ear and out the other. And what people didn't see is when it would get brought up to me in videos or interviews, I tried to cut that out too. Because there was a guy that sacrificed his time, came out there. I wouldn't known who that family was without me.
So I had some questions written down. The guy to the right, which his name is Mark, claims that he was the project manager of the house building. I have a question for you, sir, since you are now put yourself front and center and standing beside your friend here, and that you said you were directly involved. Were you going to get paid for being the project manager? And will any of these plans and who was going to do what discuss with the Whitaker family? Because from my observation of this public video, that a lot of things were done because that's the way you thought it should be done. And that's very odd to me. That's very odd to me. Did you discuss any of these things with the Whitaker family? Not saying that they could have made an executive decision, but was it at least talked about? And was he going to be paid? And where was that money going to be from? Or was it volunteer?
Mark, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
And, right away, people started trying to make it a us versus him thing. And I didn't want that. And so it was really important for me to talk to him. But the
Hey,
reason
hell
that
on
we talked
heels.
was not because of what people would think. One day, I had an episode of Dad Talk. I had, I think, 2 episodes of Dad Talk that got flagged for copyright by Soft White Underbelly. And I was like, what in the world? And let me say this right now. I think the video had like 1,500 or 2,000 views on it. Had nothing to do with Soft White Underbelly. It was years before. And it just like, I don't know how that got reported for that, but I was like, what is this, man? I was like, that video ain't making money anyway. I talk about one of the most unpopular topics out there. It's father's rights. Ain't nobody getting rich or famous talking about these issues. You know, we're begging people, like, listen to what we got to say here. But I had his number, and that's when I reached out and I was like, dude, what is this? Like, I felt at that time, and I'll apologize because I think I was wrong. It felt like a personal attack because at that time it was just so heated, dude, between like us versus him type stuff. That was made up again on the internet. It wasn't made up by me. It was made up on the internet. And I was like, look, man, I was like, if you got something against me or something's going on, I was like, you got my number. I've tried reaching out to you. And,
Okay, so we
and
talked
he was
to
very
Mark.
heated in the beginning.
Okay,
frustrated.
you
Let him
got
know.
over it. You guys talked. Life was
interviewed Mark.
great.
You name it.
You name it.
All the way up to the president.
I never got to interview Trump.
Well, not interview.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He had dinner with Trump and it cost a lot of money. That's what I heard. I don't know. I can't verify, not in the man's checkbook. But what we heard was, but okay.
But I mean, you're having dinner with the guy. That's how many people can say that?
But, and guys, I would have.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Mark? How far down the table was Mr. Carroll sitting? Was he the right hand to Mr. Trump, or was he like 16 people down at the big table, or was he in the same room? I don't know. I have questions. Making it sound like it's something that it could or couldn't. Okay.
When you talk about
that's what we call over here name dropping.
People go crazy. I had an issue I wanted to get the laws changed with. I was also trying to get laws passed to make sure little kids do not get gender transition surgery, because I've got several guys I'm very close friends with, and people think since we got the president that we got now that has changed. Nothing has changed. They still don't have their kids. And last I heard with Younger, he doesn't even know where his kid is. They changed his name. They don't know that. He's not allowed to know anything.
We're talking about some dad stuff.
When we got to talk, I was like, look, dude, there's got to be someone to take care of people, you know? And like, I got to be careful, guys, but it's not just building of a house. It's got to be taken care of. People got to be taken care of. And when you look, we're going through this right now. I don't want to put too much of my personal information out, but you know, I got someone in my family very sick, and we're having to get care for them 24 hours a day because don't want to put them in a nursing home. Those are the people that made us, that created us, that loved us, that raised us. I'm not seeing a family member go into a nursing home. That ain't happening on my watch, bro. And
very interesting statement. So it's different. And here's where I had received an email, and someone was saying to me, you know, it's very interesting that he said that he would never put any of his family members in a nursing home. But now we see what has taken place here. Is that, I know it's different, but it's kind of the same. Instead of maybe relocating them, paying for a rental property until something was built, helping out with some in-home care, and then dealing with that. It was such a push, in my opinion, from public videos. It was such a push to get this house built. And with the way my mind goes is house building, you need to have X amount of dollars. Okay. We're hiring people. Could potentially have to hire a project manager, somebody that oversees, you know what I'm saying with this? But instead of getting a clean environment for the family and helping them maybe get some nursing in there to help with Ray and Lorraine or whoever needed it the most, whatever. Okay. We focused on this house thing. Things could have been done it could have multitasked the situation, in my opinion. But that's looking back. I wasn't in it, but that's just my opinion.
Or
all the adults out there that do. Now, I understand. At some point in time,
they treat our veterans like shit too. So
gosh, we know that. I mean, they take themselves out of this world more than anybody. We can't say that word on YouTube.
22 times a day.
And anyway. That care around the clock is expensive. You got more than one person that needs care. So it's not just a house. You got a lot to do. In order to pull something like that off, it's going to need quite a bit. And it's got to be structured just right. But there was other challenges with that, Mark.
Yeah, I do think he was in over his head.
Before. There was a big pile of money that came and disappeared. And after that, the trust with the public was broken. And what happened there? Another content creator that didn't know anything about the story came in there wanting to make Mark look like a bad guy because he wanted to be the one making content on it. And he got the views, he got the comments, but I don't think it was ones he wanted because Mark had the receipts. I have receipts, a lot of them. You've been through them with me, haven't you, Mark?
You're looking at a receipt right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the original? Okay, and that caught my ear because you're looking at a receipt right here. What did you mean? Financial receipt from traveling or Airbnb? What does that mean? Or a receipt that is going to say what he cannot say? Those are my questions with that statement.
But I want to get off of that, but I did want to touch on it. Over time, I had a lot.
Or did you front the money for this trip and it was supposed to be paid back? Mark, did you front the money to Mr. Carroll and you were supposed to be paid back by Whitaker money? I mean, that left it wide open. But this, and I'm saying this because this guy always says, we need to talk about, you're leaving the details out. You're leaving the details out, Eric. So you're leaving the details out, sir. You're leaving the details out, sir, in my opinion. What did she say? Oh, shit.
In my ear, and all I know, I got fed misinformation too. So there was a point in time that my view of Mark kind of got skewed a little bit.
Yeah.
But looking back at this thing, I did revisit one time after I came back home. And
right,
the thing that mattered to, or resonated with me the most was after he, figured all this out and heard about it. He said, after all I've done for you.
Well, that's a good thing about truth. And us being in, what people would designate father's rights, we fight for children. We don't care. Dad has them, mom has them.
I fight for
how many
dads too, though, man. One of the things I used to hate it when advocates would do it, not to cut you off, hold that thought. One of the things that used to really get to me is they'd be like, it's not about you. It's about the kids. It's not about you. It's about the kids. Well, that person once upon a time was a kid. And it is about them. If that person is being used, abused, they're taking his money that he made by a sacrifice, being away from his family, so that he could
get more dad stuff.
The background looking at him going, why is he leaning into the rain?
It's a spectacle. And I told you so. I told you so. I can't do that, man. I'm not about to celebrate someone's downfall. Because the truth is, I hope they can find peace and get help and live a healthy, happy life.
How many times have we sat back and just let the fraudsters just hang themselves? How many years have we been doing this? And you never hear us say their name. You never hear us talk about them. They hang themselves. And then every so often we'll reference certain people. Tori's one of them, out of Georgia with her P.O. box and claiming she was helping dads. And we just sat back and watched the scary side. Our guys in t-shirts and jeans with a camera. Nick Shirley's out here in California right now, and everyone is losing their mind. Joe Rogan's another one, does long form podcasts. He's in a t-shirt. Sean Ryan in a t-shirt. Theo Vaughn in a t-shirt with a camera. You in a t-shirt with a camera. And all of us point out fraud at one point.
I'm going to have to say that's not a fair comparison, in my opinion. Not to cut you off, but right, right. These are not comparable, in my opinion.
In time, and then we just sit back.
The scary thing is when you point out fraud, you have to be really careful. You may be well-intentioned, you may be doing the right thing, but you don't know who all is involved. And that's when you rattle the cages. And then you become a target.
Yeah. The most famous t-shirt wearing First Amendment rights.
I mean, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing here? Watching it today is way different. Wow. Watching it today is the name throws and the comparisons. This is done for a reason, people. This is done for a reason. Step back and think about what is being portrayed here. Really talk about, in my opinion, talk about mind manipulation, gaslighting, in my opinion so far. Hey, I could change my mind tomorrow, right? But listening to it again back now, very interesting take on this. Oh, wow. Okay.
Guy out there, Charlie Kirk.
And what happens when you have a problem with one of these government agencies?
Do not compare this gentleman here to the right of you, sir, will be the right to you. The left to us. Don't compare him to Charlie Kirk. Wow. Don't do it.
And then where do you got to go to get relief of that problem or to solve whatever it is? You got to go to another government agency, the courthouse.
You think
They know
it
how
was
to silence
rehearsed?
They know how to silence people good, especially people with not much means. You know, attorneys paying those fees. You go any further, you know, they don't want good people to talk.
They tried silencing Jeff, younger. He's like, throw me in jail. I'm going to speak. Rabbi Jacob Belinsky out of Colorado. They tried silencing him, took all his kids.
Some order, because I feel like we're all over the place, and I'm okay with it. Again, I mean, nothing matters more to me than the truth. Nothing. I still to this day, man, I don't think I've ever been able to talk to anyone about this whole story. I know very little about anything, honestly. Very, very little. And
you want to do like a 3-day recap of where it was going?
Yeah, I mean,
and then turn south.
So here's where we start the 3-day recap. But man, it takes 4 hours to get there. It seemed like we're gonna skip through it. What's not important when they keep going veering off.
I mean, most people know what happened, but they're making stuff up in between.
You know, most of the time can pick up on what was going on. But dude, again, like,
okay,
it was 2 years because she got a message on Facebook by this guy and started doing this back and forth, and she thinks she's having an affair with him. She's crazy thing.
Yeah,
in her mid-70s. Never underestimate what somebody's seeing on the internet. Like, people will believe anything, dude. They really will. They will believe anything. And that's why allowing people to go out and put misinformation and stuff like that. I haven't talked about that yet, but I'm not planning on letting that go, Mark. Let me ask you, if it was you, somebody was out there, my daughter is one of the hardest working girls at her age that I've seen. She had turned 18. The girl lives in the country. It might be even country than what I saw up there. Much different type of country. Drives an hour to work. I mean, this girl has gotten just about every award that you can get in school, dude. She's brilliant. She's been gifted in honors classes her whole life. Where she got it, I don't know. She lived with her mom for 12 years, came and lived with me for 3 or 4, then went back. She's with her mom right now, but we've been there for that drags on her to the point that where she lives in the country, her car was not good shape, man. It was ready to kick. Anyway, long story short, dude, that girl worked so hard. Her employer went and got her a car and just said, she's a senior. She'll be graduating this year. I got the text message, Daddy, I want you to walk me onto homecoming court. Of course. And dude, that's what I've done. You know, I've tried to be nice. I know the people going and grabbing my photos, saying all kinds of nasty junk, man. I've allowed certain parts of my life to be shared. And the ones that I share the most is my kids. Everybody, I want the world to know how proud I am of my kids, especially her, as hard as she worked. Now she's on homecoming court. Dude, when they called her onto the field, I didn't think they was ever going to stop reading those awards. And then I have to go see people accuse her of using West Virginia money to buy her dress and just made it all about them. Some of the nastiest things you could to a 17-year-old child. Like, at what point does your amusement or trolling, where does it go to?
And people shouldn't have messed with that child, and they shouldn't have went over to her face. I don't know what happened because I'm not on Facebook, but to me, I don't think that is acceptable. And I think that they should have left his family, his children out of this. You can have a problem with Eric if that's what you choose, but minor children, stop. Whoever's doing that, just stop.
There's some disgusting human beings out there, dude. And as her father, like, look, man, I've been doing this for 7 years now. I know what to expect. I don't read the comments. I tell people all the time, don't do it. Rogan is one of my favorite. Since this has been going on, and I have the last 15 episodes. If anybody, I learned that a long time ago anyway, but every once in a while, I'm like, I love interacting with people. I do that now. But attacking my child, man, would you let that go? But here's the thing: what do I do?
You know me.
What do I do? Sue in court? I can prove the defamation.
Yeah, I'm headed to the 9th Circuit myself on that same. Well, not that same. It's a different.
Single way. There's a lot of defamation cases out there, and these people that went into business for themselves, trying to make accusations towards me or family, they have no morals about them whatsoever. And they did what they did. Like, I don't care that I'm destroying somebody's life or their reputation, trying to hurt them financially. And
there was some pretty heavy allegations that were done in some people's videos, in my opinion, from my viewing of their public videos. There's some heavy allegations that was said. And that's unfortunate. Yeah, and for me, I would have protected my family at all costs. I wouldn't have tagged them. I wouldn't have. There's some steps that could have been taken. And sometimes you have to do stuff privately. If you thrust yourself into the spotlight publicly, then there's certain steps, in my opinion, that needs to be taken. And that's being responsible adulting with children. I'm not going to sit here and tag my relatives in my videos. Why? Because people are they are digging right now as we speak. People are digging for my information. It was said in a comment that let's dox her because I was accused of doxing someone. Okay. So I would never tag people that I know in real life because they're going to follow that trail to find out who I am. Disgusting.
Or whatever I'm doing. But at the end, guys, please don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Pieces of crap, dude. There's any attorneys out there that want to take that on? I don't want a penny of that money, Mark. I wouldn't take it. That's blood money, bro. I thought about this long and hard.
So, Randy, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here, and you can answer. You don't feel obligated to answer, but I know that you go from chat to chat. So I'm going to ask you this question. In the videos that you have seen me do, have I ever doxed anybody? Have I ever said anyone's first and last name and left their location, address, information on my screen for 2 hours? I'm going to ask you that because I know that you go from chat to chat. You watch all the videos, and I would like to hear your answer, if you don't mind. If you don't want to answer, I understand. But I would like to see where your point of view is on that.
That means something to me. It means something to me. I'd love to be able to help them go and fight in court to go get their children, but all you're doing is giving money to an attorneys and then feeding the system that created that mess. And I couldn't look myself in the mirror with that. But I thought about this as a dad, like, what's the most important thing to me looking back when I was going through that? A lot of these dads, they might wake up and find out she's got another man. You're about to go through a divorce. Now I got to go get an attorney. And while you're going through this, she ends up getting the house. You're going to pay, while you're paying the attorney, you're probably going to have to pay her attorney too, all because she wanted to have an affair and leave you. And now you're probably going to lose the kid, maybe even this. Now you got to go get a new house. By the time that the kid comes to your house, if you do get some time, Dad, I'm hungry. You got anything to eat? Hey, buddy, I'll try to get you something, and that counters. Nothing in it. No furniture. Daddy, I want to play video games. You don't have a TV. I want to go to Mama's house. Mama's got food. She's got everything I want. You don't. Little kid don't know. Yeah, Mama's got all that. So I'm paying for it, bud. Dad has to, just keep that quiet.
So I was interested because I know some people travel to chat, and that's okay. Just because you're in someone else's chat doesn't mean that you're not welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. I get a little heated once in a while, but I try to keep an even kill, even if I'm disagreeing with someone. Me and a few people in the chat have had disagreements, and that's okay. But I'm an adult. We can disagree and still cohabitate. Usually, you know what I mean?
And it makes that to where, the kid doesn't want to go to dad. That's not fun. I don't have anything. That dad, that's the one I'm looking for, Mark. What if that money could be used to send him on a vacation? On the beach or to an amusement park? Memories.
Yeah, and I can see that too, Bonnie. I can see that.
That can last forever.
Like, I totally get why he would do it because he's a proud dad. I get it, man. I get it. But being a proud dad, for me, I'm on social media. I have a YouTube channel. Okay, for me, I know what people they'll go to any lengths to harass you, to intimidate you. And I will protect people that I care about before I want to show a picture. But I get it. Two things can be true at the same time. You know what I mean?
It's kind of where my head is. If I do it, say it right now, live video, 100% of those proceeds go to those dads. I don't want a penny of it. But those little fake reporters out there, I hope you had your fun, because it is not fun. And you don't know what it's like being on the other side of that screen. You're talking about real people's lives here. You have no credibility. Like that day, again, sitting there with my brother and playing that Call of Duty, and like my phone starts going off all about these, I'm in jail. And there was one girl particularly. I'm not going to say any of their names. People probably already know.
Yeah, Bonnie, I agree.
One girl in particular.
Thank you.
I've got reports that Lawrence Eric Carroll is in jail. Had to bring my first name into this. And that's something I've never liked, because I'll tell you, the only time that ever got used, I used to get wrote up a lot in school as a little mischievous, the preacher's line. And they would call up, look at me. Sources, none of it was true.
New York Post.
Oh, well, I saw somebody post it on Facebook. That's not a source, honey. Yeah. And you're making a damaging comment. Now, I will say right now, my name, Mark, should have never been listed beside that, ever. That was my father's name, my grandfather. It was passed down to me. It means something to me. I pass it on to my kids. They're going to pass it on to their kids. I did not.
And some of the things that were said about him with Timmy in a private location, not a private location, but a location with just him and Timmy, and putting his I can feel this because I have multiple brothers. And I this would be something that they would say, you can call me a lot of things, but whenever you cross that line and saying something that's really vile and putting like the whole name with it like that I could see how that could make him upset. I understand that. So, I'm calling it a spade and an ace when I see it, right? So, you know, phew.
Then to deserve that. My name should have never been listed beside that. And anybody that made those claims, man. And how this was allowed to go on this long, it was a couple of weeks ago, Martin Luther King Day, one of my favorite quotes by him, because it's so true. Justice delayed is justice denied. Because there's so much that can go on. I've had to sit there for longer than anything that happened last year and watch this. My wife, my kids, my finances, people aren't even close to knowing it.
Your other relatives too got involved. They got dragged into it.
Eric, you know this, such and such.
When who released the Ashley Biden diaries, he's like, no, I didn't. So
God, truth, and never to think about it again. Just, I'm done. I can't do that.
well, think about how many people you could be helping if we weren't wasting our time with this.
That's your son, dude. But I looked at it this way. It's the Super Bowl. Right there at the end. Coach knows, or God knows, that's the one that needs to be in there. He'll make that play. This is when I need him. When I ask myself, how in the world did I end up in odd West Virginia? I was needed for a play.
Yeah.
No, I won't stamp anything as a
And that's
fact.
confusing because
I won't stamp anything as a fact, Tom, because I don't know the facts. This is just based on public opinion. I don't know the facts. I can give and sometimes my perception changes, and it has changed over the months. Now I'm a jokester. This is not a news channel. This isn't a fact-based channel, but I can't stand up here and say for a fact because I don't know. So I have a hard time saying this right here is an absolute fact. I have a hard time doing that because they're subject to error. We're not with them. And that's on both sides of the street here. You know what I mean?
that might give a scenario that just isn't, I don't know, man. It sucks. It sucks. It feels like you got to talk in riddles. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm trying to do here.
Yes and no. I mean, why were we there, right? Everyone knows why we were there. And then what played out? What got lined up? What is everyone guessing about, and what actually happened and what actually took place?
And you know what? I think that is right. He has all right to do that, Tom, but there is a consultation with attorney to hold 3. Let me go. Oh, crap. Shoot. Dang it. Go back up here. I hit the wrong button. But there is a consultation with an attorney to hold 3 people accountable for things they said, and it's nothing to do with money, all about accountability. Right. I hear that. And sometimes you have to do that. I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of YouTubers, just to let you know, have attorneys. A lot of us do, and we consult with them. They review videos and they say, well, countersue. I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying? Not with Eric Carroll. This has nothing. I'm just saying, I know you have a good heart and straight head. If I didn't think so, I wouldn't be here. I appreciate you, Tom. But, I can't say anything as a fact. And if someone goes to the lowest of the low, and you are what they call, quote, quote, a limited public figure. Sometimes once you reach a threshold, being a podcaster, a YouTuber, like maybe they could look at Mr. Carroll as what they consider a limited public figure. Okay. They have rights. We have rights, just like anybody out here does. Okay. And whenever you start defaming someone that's a quote, quote, limited public figure, and this is how their income, and you can prove this is how you pay your bills, then that makes it on a whole different level of defamation. Does that make sense? Oh, I'm not a legal eagle, let me tell you. Oh, just what I've learned along the way.
You watched the lives, which most people didn't follow along. They saw the progression of everything, and then they saw a couple events that flipped it on its head. I mean, you're literally talking about a restraining order and maybe half a day, and everyone's getting a brand new home. The Amish are involved, the county's involved. Everywhere we went was involved. Survey was involved.
And then, well, when I couldn't get those restraining orders,
It wasn't you.
after
You got the restraining order. It was
Okay.
the people responsible for the follow-up.
well, I mean, I'm talking about the process of getting the orders. Dude, I got told about a situation 12 hours before sitting here in Georgia that someone was facing abuse. Went and talked to my wife, made sure everybody was okay. Next morning, as soon as I woke up, gone. Had the car packed, gone. Did the trip. I'm here. How can I help? I wasn't supposed to be there yet. I had it planned for like, I think, a
Yeah, I
month
didn't
from
know
then.
someone went
I was
after
gonna go up. I
Hillbilly's
heard
daughter.
something was going on and people need help. That didn't put no extra money in my pocket. I didn't get a bonus, nothing.
It was just the right thing to do.
It was the right thing to do. And when I found out, like after 2 days of trying, you know, and that's when I called APS. And so I think people think because, and I was very public, I made a post about that. But what they don't know, it was already involved. It was already involved. Not for me, you know?
So let me explain this. The rumor has it. Now, I don't know if there's any truth to this, but so the rumor has it on the streets of between Facebook, YouTube, and West Virginia. Rumor has it is when the orders of protection were being brought forth, then somebody with authority made an executive decision. And that's why I feel like he feels comfortable stating that he did not initiate the original APS call. And I'll leave it at that. In my opinion, I cannot verify. I was not there.
Anyway,
You want to let people know what we were doing? Why all
I
the BS
don't
was going
know,
on in the
dude.
background?
I want people to know everything.
That's
It
crazy.
sucks. Sucks. You don't know what. I'm sorry, bro. See, that's a little confusing because your day one was like my day 15 or 16. I was already there.
So day one for you, Mr. Mass, and myself, because you picked this up in Charlotte. That's day one. As
My
far
apologies.
as
It's been a long time. I just thought
Yeah.
about something. I said something completely wrong. I said I was going to be going up there like a month later. No, I was supposed to be going there the next week. I was like 1 week away. And when I went up, I was going to take care of the situation, come back home, and then go back up because you had a ticket and Robert Mass did too. We already had it planned so we could go meet the Amish.
we got to give people the dynamics of you're in Georgia. You drove on your own time to Charlotte to pick us up and then drive back to West Virginia, then up to Virginia to meet with the Amish for free. So just think about those 4
Dude,
states.
those first couple
Who's
of
out
months,
there right now this weekend driving that distance for someone they don't know?
those first couple of months, I was using my money that I had made.
I know, but a lot of people that
I know.
If we had
But
the
I'm just
comments on
saying.
me be going, okay, well, what happened? Well, just think of this. You won't even drive that. There's people who will drive around the block for their relatives. You went to 4 states in a weekend, not even a weekend, on a Thursday or Wednesday, whenever we flew in.
Dude, it's, you know, it's always the guilty
So
dog.
from a podcaster, because remember, we have to look at this as a podcaster's point of view. He said he was a podcaster. He talks about, and he likes to help people. Okay, got it. So from a podcaster's point of view, this is just my point of view. Doesn't mean it's a fact. My point of view is he was investing, knowing that the videos are getting traction, money's being made. He would be able to reimburse himself. Okay, so that's where I'm like, and he didn't get reimbursed to my knowledge, in my opinion. I think he's saying, I honestly think that his attorney advised him, you make sure you give this money or lock it down in an account until this goes to court. I honestly believe that he got advised, and I think he's smart enough that he knows he better do it. He has people around him that are business-like people, so they probably encouraged him to do that. But in my opinion, the money that he invested that into this project, in my opinion, and I'm speaking from a podcaster's point of view, okay?
Dog that barks the loudest, you know, like the people that will criticize the most, they wouldn't be caught dead doing half the things.
But
Dealing
people
with
that know us,
excrement or so many different scenarios. And I think the truth of the matter is there was so much more that never got on.
Yeah,
TV.
Tom, I shared it. I finally got it pulled up here. And Hillbilly has it as well. I did play it. It's so it's on the, if you scroll back, I played it. I finally found it. I thought I had all my ducks in a row, guys. I did this very quickly because I was out past curfew with my friends in my phone. Yeah, I was breaking the law out past curfew, drinking water and water. I was doing double fisted of water last night. Oh my goodness.
Wasn't why? Okay, I guess this would be one of the big things people ask. Like, well, why was it on camera? First off, it's been on camera decades before I got involved. Okay, even in that current situation with Patrick, he was doing that for like a month or so, if not more, before I got involved. I reached out for an interview. Almost said a name. I got to be careful. And I wanted to reach out because if intentions are pure, I've been watching this family for years. I love them. To be honest with you, Mark, it reminded me of my childhood. And I could prove that. Very things. I've told it before. Anybody that never saw that video with me and Patrick that we made, Who Are We, or whatever. When I was a kid with my dad's church, dude, we had a girl that I went to something to, but he never came.
Now, respectfully, I'm going to skip past this because this is a story that I don't want to particularly share on my channel. Not any disrespect to the girl. I'm trying to respect her privacy. I don't know who she is. And this story to me, I don't want to, it can trigger some people. And, you know, I'm not going to share.
I met the guy. I was really, really sick. One day, it was, and 20 years later, God, he had happened to see that. And Daddy told us they had to leave, and they didn't tell us why. You know, I forget what story they had told us. And you know, in Tennessee, and that girl, right here beside me, is one. Your mom and you got your dad. They're still living right now. One, go give them a hug, kiss them on the cheek, let them know how much you appreciate them for being there for you and how much you love them. But also, when you are around, get some pictures because you aren't going to realize what those pictures mean.
And I can say this, Tom, too. I said, I hope every day everything comes to light, make it light. There's so damn chat went up. I can't read it. Hang on. Multiple appliances donated locally, not accounted for. Some delivered directly to the family. Yes. And if you guys remember, back whenever I did a video about around the Thanksgiving-ish time, because it came out that I'm not at the Whitaker family house, so I don't know, but allegedly BJ had cooked a Thanksgiving dinner that was donated, that was part of donations in that area. And the oven, we thought the oven didn't work. Well, the oven worked slightly. That's not a good oven of the stove. And Gloria, when she was there laying the flooring, she had mentioned, if I can get some help to move a stove that's being stored somewhere that was donated to the family, then they'll have a proper working stove. I can't do it by myself. So let me be clear. I know that things have been donated locally. Now, how many of them? I don't know. Law enforcement that has a new beer fridge free. So, you know, I can tell you that because it was mentioned, and there was one there down in that area. Okay.
This picture daily of that man right there. I'm so thankful for my father, Mark. He's the one that taught me to care for other people. The 6'7", size 17 shoe. No, nobody messed with that family. I can tell you that.
Right.
Yeah. And he was the preacher man. He was always there if they needed to go to the grocery store or whatever.
And that's why I play the song, because I mean, I'm very music orientated. And that's why I play this song, The Son of a Preacher Man, because that's what he calls him. Okay. That's what he calls him. I thought I was doing the guy a favor while playing this song, for the love of God. Patrick has a special song when he comes up here, and Mr. Carroll has a special song when we talk about him, right? I thought I was doing the guy a favor. Jeez.
And, I remember watching that, dude. And so, like, I grew up with it. And just watching the humanity that my father put out there. Dude, I sit here always to make it even worse. Or he didn't do enough. Yes. And you can realize there was probably a reason they needed help. And sometimes when you help those that need help, it's not always fun or rewarding. You might get rewarded in a way that you don't like. That just, to me, better feeling the money or anything out there. This life is short. Money is fake. Social media is fake. That glory, that fame that people go for on the TikTok, all of it, just fake, man. Making someone's life better. It's just, dude, it's what I saw. And the world used to have a lot more in that. There was things that was done that people would rant and rave over that I'm like.
So I wouldn't be fair to myself if I didn't ask this question. So you chose a viral family to help. When you said in this yourself, sir, that there are a lot of people that live in with less than other people in America, right in your backyard. So you chose a viral family. And so help understand why you chose the Whitaker family to help and really dig in deep. I know that there was a conversation between you and Mr. Rorick. I get that. And did you just like how I would really like to know what made you decide to help? Like what was really going on? You know?
What is special about this? You know, back in the day, that's just what people did. Anyway, dude,
Memories are all you take with you. You got
What's
one
that?
shot.
Okay.
Memories are all.
much. Last week was a hard one for me because on the 22nd, it was my mom's birthday. Also
I'm
the day
not, and I hope his mother, you know, I'm not going to talk about share this stuff because I don't want anyone to do negative stuff with his deceased father, his mother. A lot of us have elderly parents. They have went through something in their life medically, and that I don't want to share that.
Your dad is dying.
Not that he doesn't have a right to share it, but it just isn't what this stream's about.
The patient that stayed with him, they would take him to get food, grocery shopping. Some of them got to work jobs. You know, they tried to give him as normal of a life as you could possibly give him, but they still needed somebody there with him. And that's what my mom did. And Sunday, and they was at the church every would get violent. Sit with Keith. My mom would.
Yeah, I have a hard time talking about other people's stuff.
This is the first time I'm meeting this guy, and hadn't even done a background, check. Didn't know his Florida situation. I know all that now because I looked into it, and I'm like, oh, this is who we're dealing with.
So yeah. They're talking about Mr. Rorick's background, and he does have a background in the state of Florida for something about S worker. Okay. The story behind that is a little bit different than what is put out on social media. It's not my story to tell. So I'll maybe one day he'll talk about it. I don't know. I tell him I agree to a point. Gary supplied DJ with another vehicle that Betty and Larry can't access. And that is the truth right there. That is the truth. It comes down to, he thought he could make a difference and bring more awareness. So as to what was he trying to do in hopes to bring more attention to the problem and hope of getting more help. Got ya. Yes, he was involved in a sting. That is correct. He was inside of the vehicle. Someone else was inside doing whatever they are doing inside of the room. I don't know. So it was part of a sting. Yes, it was. Allegedly, in what I've heard. Okay. Now, I haven't ever pulled a report on it. I've never seen the actual FOIA on it. Okay. I don't have that. Okay. Back in the day, people were like 3 hidden. Yes, they were. Trista Wyla, it's good to see you too, by the way. Yeah, like a hillbilly. She said like a pimp. Damn it, hillbilly. Tommy, you should have never have put that on Facebook. I'm not sure what I'm saying about. Hillbilly said like a pimp. P-I-M-P. Hillbilly.
When he came rolling over in his wheelchair, and we've got 3 people standing there warning us about him. This is the first time I meet this guy. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, did you know Betty took a certain amount of money, and he threw a number out there out of her account today? Now, I don't know this guy from Adam, and he's talking about Betty and her account. And I'm going, how would this guy even know what Betty's doing? So that was red flag number 1 for me, because I'm all the way out from California. Mr. Mass is out from Idaho, and I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is. But yeah, that was a red flag for me. Like, what? And the other story that you told me about with the tools and the gentleman that you just got the phone handed to you.
Dude, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was crazy. It was.
So that story about Betty with withdrawing an amount of cash out of her checking account plays into what he's going to say in a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot. I'm really bad about pushing a goal because I only do it like the first week of of the new month so we can pay for all of our gadgets over here. So I'm sorry, bees, but thank you. I needed the reminder. I never set goals except the first part of the month. Okay, and then it's easy breezy, right? Thank you so much, bees, for your $20, baby.
Right after. Because again, I mean, nobody was more shocked about the situation and my involvement than me. It came out of the middle of nowhere. One day, I was just a guy watching, and the next day I'm asked, will you help me do this? And that was much more than an interview. Go ahead.
I'm just closing this.
Interview, will you help me do this? You've been doing this. I've never done it. You know how to do social media. And of course, because I was passionate behind the subject. I was looking for something to work on outside of dad talk because my head was screwed up. I've had so many murder cases, guys, not with dad, just dads getting killed, but little kids.
And honestly, what I can say here to this is I can relate to this. Because he's never spoke. So I'm hearing him for the first time. Okay. So I'm going to give an understanding where I understand it, where I can relate. All right. So whenever like I've been covering the Whitaker situation since September-ish. It's now January. If you guys have noticed, I've dropped other videos on other subjects because, and I'm not even someone that's involved. Okay. I am not a key player in this situation, but you get burnt out. You get burnt out on doing the same content over and over and over again. No matter what for me, no matter if the numbers are good or bad, if I find something interesting, we talking about it, honey. So I can understand his point of view here that he had witnessed so much unaliving and it gets you very depressed. So I can relate a little bit with this.
And God only knows the amount of those cases I had involvement with, talking and consulting for free with the family behind closed doors, and it was never on screen.
Thank you,
And
Chicky Chick.
I'd never wanted to be the guy that talked about people getting killed. That happened after John got killed. John came on my show.
Thank you.
In 2020 on Thanksgiving, and 2 months later was killed in the parking lot trying to go get his kids. And after that initial story, those started coming out of the woodwork. Then I started getting the reports on the kids getting killed by their mom.
Hey, Kelly.
Filicide. Guys, do me a favor. I'm not trying to make this a dad talk episode. It is a dad talk episode. I can't go live on Facebook.
I end up getting so upset. Sometimes you might hear me peep in, but last night I different point. You have to sit on things. You have to let it get in you. You know what I mean? You have to sit and soak it in. So you may hear me in the back say, yeah, you are. It's my point of view at the time. Okay.
But I swear to God, that's the honest truth. This is not about money. I got comments and everything turned off.
And honestly, guys, be prepared. I mean, I'm going to stop this for a second. I think I might have even burped. And I forgot that I was recording this. I was like, I was like, oh crap, I'm recording this. Oh God. So I'm sorry if you hear a big burp, but hey. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Oh my gosh.
But look up mom kills child and just look how crazy it is and how underreported. But again, Minnesota, ICE. That's what you're going to see. They know how to keep our country arguing with each other because that's where the money comes in, is the comments. The more you can get people fussing.
Thank you, Kimberly, very much, you guys. It's not any particular super chat. It's $1 to whatever. Okay, so I don't ever like to put like only $10 one. I don't do that because some people. I mean, it's a hard life out here, people. So, and he is true. The more people bicker back and forth in the comments underneath the video, is considered engagement. Okay. And it will happen. It will drive up the revenue of that. So, and that's why if you guys paid attention, whenever Patrick Orr came and spoke the first time on this platform, I turned off all comments. Okay. Because I did not want to make $1 zillion off of it. I still to this day have made $57.30 or 40 cents off of that video. And it's not for public. The comments were immediately shut down because I know how it works. And it wasn't about the monetization part of it for me. I didn't even know he was coming up. The monetization was already on. So
I don't care if you're supporting or if you're hating. News
Back
to
to
the haters
drugs.
out there. The people that hate in the comments, you're actually making that person money. So that's why they want you arguing in those comments. Never
Little
figured
kid that
that
got
out.
blown up because his mom was cooking meth. That not too many people, go look that story up that he did. Brian F.
No. Not meth. She was making hash.
Well, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
Drugs.
well, I mean,
We'll leave it. We'll leave it.
because I thought that story was fake. I was treating them like somebody was trying to troll me or get over on me. This was first year of Dad Talk. I was like, and I just started out.
okay.
And but that nurse said that when she came in there and saw Brian, she told him she would be skin moist. That costs $30 a day. Now you do that 30 minutes learning, and that's what gets me a lot interested, like in how people react and how the media is with this thing. Because I was telling his dad, I was like, the reason you haven't, probably heard from him, I'm like, they like sensationalism. And I was like, I couldn't believe you. I
Go down the list. I mean, there's Brian.
don't, but I don't want to do that.
That's what I mean. That the list is long. So when people think there was any other ulterior motives than what we've always been doing,
But here's the bottom line. I do got to live.
Yep.
And so for years, I done all of it for free, man. I would go up there, go to like court battles or you name it, march the capitals. And like, there was a handful of people that saw what I did and wanted to support me. And that's what kept me going. It wasn't the monetization. And the crazy thing is I had a hell of a following. I had like 1.5 million followers before I got
still
into
do
that.
Yeah.
My following hasn't went up or down on Dad Talk during that whole situation. I had one. I had a platform. I didn't need that. I was passionate about that. There was opportunity there. And I tell you, if the right thing was done, everybody would be taken care of. Just do.
And I have to agree with that with Patrick and Eric. If things would have went the right way and things would have been put in more like into like a business plan and not move so hectically, slowed it down a little bit. Sometimes you have to slow down the momentum, and the people that slow it down are the people that's putting out the content. You gotta tap it back. And unfortunately, I think they just got on a moving train and both did not know how to handle it. In my opinion. Now, this is looking back. I wouldn't, to be honest with you, I don't know how I would have handled the situation. If I was in Patrick or Eric's position at the time. Okay. I would like to think I would do things this way, that way, but we don't know how we would do it.
Do the right thing, man. And what gets me more than anything, Mark, is it's such a beautiful thing to do. I had so many people say, like, I had lost
So it
all
looks
faith
like
in
Kim's
humanity.
struggling.
But
Let me see if anyone else is.
This is,
Is anyone getting like an in and out or anything? It looks like as if Kim's struggling. So is anyone else having effects as she is in the chat? I am not. I have it playing on another computer and mine is rolling just fine. But okay, try again. Yeah, go all the way out of your app, Kim, and it should help. I have mine playing to my other computer and I'm not seeing any glitches. Okay.
that around. And then
everybody was behind it except 3 grifters. Everybody. From that state to other states to across the pond to Canada, everybody was behind
Mark
it.
talking, not me. Not saying I
Except-
agree or disagree.
Except 3 grifters. I'll name names. I'll name.
You can, and I'm not.
No, I will. I mean,
I know,
because
but I'll get
so-
blamed for it.
So I wonder who the 3 grifters were, because I don't think he names them here, but I would like to know Mark's opinion about who the 3 grifters were. Now, you know these things, strange. You make these comments like, Mark was angry and prepared to the middle of the story. It could have just confused most. Tom, you have been accurate in a lot of things you say. Yeah, Tom's been pretty accurate so far, but everyone's welcome in the chat. I've been front and center in the beginning. Tom has been in other people's chats and saying things. I watch what Tom says. That's why I pay attention to what Tom says thus far, because I've seen him in other chats. There are people with information. Tom is someone that's stating things, and everyone has the right to comment. So I don't know who Tom is. Tom, who are you? Tom, who are you, Tom?
Well, I'll say my opinion and my fact of being front and center firsthand and Mr. Mass. So what's Mr. Mass's agenda? What's my agenda? What was the reason that Mr. Mass was out there? And then tell him what was the reason that I was out there.
What was your agenda, Mark? Why was you there?
I was going to project manage the bill. What was Mr. Mass's reasoning for being there?
Introduce me to the Amish.
Okay. So
And he did.
Yeah,
We had
so
3 days. All right, let's do this. So I had been there almost 2 weeks. We can talk about.
I'm
some more of it.
interested to know who Mark thinks the 3 were. I could probably name, I think I might know now. Never mind. I do too, Kim. I do too. And the conversations that I've had with someone, I think that he was relying on that experience.
Later, but the day you guys get in, we had planned that a good bit before. Again, I wasn't supposed to be out there until the day these guys flew in, because my plan was to drive up from Georgia to Charlotte, then go to West Virginia. That's a lot of freaking driving. Instead, I ended up a week beforehand going up there, an extra week in Airbnbs and gas, food, and the whole 9 yards. I only had, I think,
If you guys aren't seeing each other's chat, it is probably because you're on the vertical stream and not the horizontal stream. Just to let you know. So jump into other and out the other.
2 outfits, man. I wore that same American Eagle shirt and shorts, and I didn't end up buying me any clothes. And I think until like week 2, I was like, I got to do something.
wait, I went with you to Walmart. That wasn't on video.
But that was what was supposed to be going down. But I was already there, so now I got to go to Charlotte, get you guys, and I think you came a couple hours apart. You from California, him from Idaho. Robert Mass, for context, guys, one of the nicest, amazing human beings I've met. I've met a lot of people. You just don't understand the Mass family.
There's nobody more
Eric coming aboard. He called Eric his assistant. Okay.
genuine than Mr. Mass.
John, I keep these on my desk, dude. It's like the first thing I start out my day with. Dad, John. I met them when their son got killed, and I found out that they were Amish. And so I learned a lot about the Amish lifestyle. And side source, not only know why I don't want to handle money, Mark, what are we doing right now? So I did not want to handle money.
Yep.
I reached out to the Appalachian Project. I had reached out to Habitat for Humanity, anybody and everybody, guys. I had like so many different things that went down. And then I used to, back when I did read the comments and would go and try to be like one-on-one with the community, somebody had mentioned the Amish, and I was like, hey, I didn't think about it right away, but then I was like, hey, I have someone that might be able to help.
So that's interesting. It says, if and when all of the evidence comes out, I know this is going to be an unpopular to some. Patrick was going to do exactly what he did with or without Eric. I think that he was going to make content. Yeah, I do. Because he was, but I don't know if he knew how to navigate through the other social media platforms, and set things up. That's what I think that he was relying on Eric on. And his business mindset, in my opinion. Now, that's not a fact. That didn't come from someone, just my observation. And I'm not sure Jason was going to be the first. I don't know. I've never heard anything about Jason doing, that's new to me.
And that's when I called up Robert, and he was like, absolutely, Eric, they would get behind this. Up until that point, he didn't know about this story, nothing. But when he heard what I was doing, and he knew how I'd been there for his son, guys, y'all just don't know how much that family's been there for me. One of the most meaningful
lawsuit
there for a time, and I could have used some friendly ears. In your own mind, thankful for. But that it was one of those moments. It was so dark. I swear to God, man. Again, I'm not. I know they do, because he knows the right moment and when. And when I made that documentary, immediately us and stand with our family and it was me on my tangent plan. He didn't know. But he had knew, and that his family knew, and he had met him at a court. And I am still going to do something with them, and let people know about it. Dude.
So he's talking about the Amish. We're going to skip through it a little bit because it's not what we're covering.
Many misconceptions of them out there. So many. And so I'd love for people to see that. And when I asked them, I don't want to be near them.
Oh, he asked others before Eric. Got you. Okay, so some people are saying he may have asked Jason to help him first. Okay, got you. Eric was a backup. Okay.
Understood it. They agreed. We'll be the keeper of the funds, and what we will do, we'll have like a committee over it to watch over this.
I personally have never heard that. Now, I don't know. Let me tell you, honey, I don't know everything about everything. I'm learning as we go.
There was so many layers there, from the Amish to trying to get a trust account to like so much, dude. And then,
But who does the government turn to during natural disasters when they need help? The Amish, because they can come in and throw a house up in 3 days. You had the flood in Helene. The Amish came in and rebuilt the community. They had other floods that they referenced when I was
I see what you're saying, Tom. I get what you're saying.
up there that I wasn't familiar with. In West Virginia, they said the Amish came in and helped us.
Yeah. Can
they
we
can
ask you
structure
which Jason? Are you referring to Mr. Jason Whitaker or a different Jason? Or the other Jason on Facebook? There's 2 Jasons here. Like Jason over there on Facebook, Jason, or Jason Whitaker? Jason McClelland, I think is his name. McClelland.
Up in less than a week.
when they told us
Why wouldn't we go
that
to
they ever built a house from beginning to
Yeah,
end,
Pam, that's
3
there you
days.
go. 3 Jason.
And what was, listen, guys,
Yeah,
What's the
so
difference?
were you referring to that Jason then, Tom?
anything extravagant. Of course, I want it to be as nice as possible, but it's stick that can be maintained, take care of people, and need it quick.
on
That's kind of
their
it.
on
Like
their
even-
on their property.
But the Amish had a different idea. This is going to be a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath, heated floors, and everything log cabin.
6 by
They
12.
said I still don't understand how this works. Because I say heated floors, but that was not it exactly. They said they would never even have to run the heat. That's how insulated, because of the way they build the house. And we know they got some extreme winters up there. I think they got hit pretty hard last weekend, and they'll get hit this weekend. They said they would never have to do it. It was going to be amazing, guys. Above
Yeah, I
and
do.
beyond. And they would have done it in hardly no time.
Yes, I do remember within a day or so, Eric leaving, he was going live on behalf of Patrick. Absolutely. I remember that. And I was kind of wondering what the connection was. And I assumed there had to be a connection behind the scenes. With I would assume more than a day or two, because, and I'll tell you why. I don't think people would start I don't think Mr. Warwick would start showing a complete stranger off the internet that makes content all of the dirty deeds. I think that there had to have been a rapport. This is my observation. I'm not saying it's a fact, but I think that there would have been a rapport built and then information exchanged. And that's just my observation, but I don't know if it to be a fact. But is it plausible? Could be.
When we left, they said, before we give you an answer, we need to pray about it. We have to get together as a community and pray before we do anything like that. And when we left, Robert's like, Eric, we got it. I was like, well, they said they got to pray. He's like, no. He's like, got it.
Yeah, I hope that people aren't trying to set up anybody. That's the thing, Jess. Like, I hope no one is trying to set up Mr. Rorick. I think it should be left in the law's hands, and the investigators go through the investigation properly without interference, in my opinion, and then come out and see what happens. Do I find it odd? I'm not saying odd because odd West Virginia, that I'm just going to hold off on that statement.
They do. I'm not going to say yes yet, but he's like, I can already tell you. And so he turned around before we left to show him how serious we were. And he said, I want to be the first one to donate towards the house, and cut a $500 check there on the spot. And he said, hold on to this. So when we get that account started, this would be towards their house. Check later got ripped up. You know what happened?
So again,
back where it was. So
yeah, I believe that too. People will go after Jason because he has the original messages. Yeah, and that was shared publicly. Like, he shared that publicly months ago. So I'm surprised that he hasn't been talked to. He may have been. We don't know. They may want to see that, but the messages. But I believe Mr. Rourke's phone was downloaded or taken or something. So they would have those. But I'm surprised that someone else hasn't been spoke to. You know what I'm saying? By law. And they may have. I don't know. But we just don't know social media.
we still had 2 more days that was planned to go and search for the Amish, and we accomplished it on day 1. So what ended up happening? We got us some Amish food, went back and we celebrated. And was like, tomorrow we go find out the other parts. There's permits, there's zoning, there's septic and like power, and like all these other things we got to figure out. But the main thing, somebody to watch after the money, somebody to build the home, done.
So
for such an accomplishment, man. We were ahead of schedule.
For timeline references, you picked us up on Wednesday. By Thursday at 5 p.m., we had this news And then Friday was like, let's go check in with certain people. And then on Friday,
Yeah,
we're going to
the
do.
justice system moves like a snail. Okay. Ooh, talk about quick and speedy trial. I'm like, I'm like, sometimes the justice system moves so slow.
What we need to do. And Friday morning was another red flag.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask Jason nothing, honey. No, baby. People come to me. I don't reach out to people. Okay. People come to me. I never reach out to people and say, hey, you want to talk? Hey, you want to talk? Hey, you want to talk? People have reached out to me, and that's it. So I'm not going to contact Mr. Jason.
That I saw.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Yep. So just for context and for timeline, people know what was taking place in the background. So we're above the moon. I mean, we had a smile from Virginia all the way back to West Virginia because they lived in Virginia, the Amish community that we went to. So we drive back to West Virginia, get back to the Airbnb. I mean, we are stoked. We're like, okay, permits,
Before I get accused
zoning,
of something,
yeah.
I vape.
What's that?
Lay my head
Yeah.
down. I'm
Okay, so that was asking a question. Okay, ready. You want to know why he was bending his head down on the table. He just said it right here. He's vaping. I didn't see this part. Like I said, I was recording it. Device, and nothing could be tampered with from corruption. Everything was done for a reason. Good. So my opinion. So I got justice at age 12. So ready. There you go. Let me back it up so you can see it in full speed here.
No.
Before I get accused
Zoning,
of something,
yeah.
I vape.
What's that?
Lay my head
Yeah.
down. I'm
So there you go.
I mean, so the people know the timeline. Here's what was going to take place on Friday, and then there were two major incidents. One in the morning, and the main one that evening after we got back running around.
I am
all day.
so intrigued, Tom. I'm so intrigued on what the truth is, how it all going to lay out. Okay, I'm very intrigued. I like true crime, and this is allegedly there was some allegedly what the state police have said of West Virginia. They said that there's been some crimes committed. I'm into it. That's why I originally started following this case because of the alleged fraud. I didn't know who Patrick or Eric were. I had no clue. I never heard of either one of these gentlemen. All right. So I like to see where does the money go? What's going to happen? Who did this? Who did what? But I want to wait for the judge, the jury, and a trial to take place. The court of public opinion means absolutely shit. Okay. Because the people that have the teeth that can make your life probation, fines, potential jail time. I don't know. That's the judge you need to be worried about, not the judge of public opinion.
But to that point, y'all hadn't met the family. You hadn't met, we can't talk, you had met someone, but you hadn't met the family, hadn't been there to see.
I want all the
I
facts.
wanted y'all to see. So that next morning when we started out, that's where we went to first, to let them know the news. The Amish agreed, and it was
now
kind
we're
of
getting on the Amish. I have some questions about the Amish. Now, we all know that the Amish, they have businesses that build log cabins, that build homes. That's their business. So was it convenient that was it just out of convenience? I don't want to say convenient. Was it out of convenience that he had someone that rubbed elbows in the Amish community? And he said, the Amish builds homes. Maybe they will work for free. You pay for the material. But let me stop you right there. This is my opinion. I do not know this to be a fact. My looking at the videos, I think that the Amish was praying about, because they really never agreed. There was no contract. They said they're going to pray about it. And he says that here. Was it you pay for the materials that we provide for the build, and our labor will be free? And they call that a good work. They call that charity, which it is, because the labor of building a house is expensive. That would have been charity work for the Amish. And what a great gift they received. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, they have to have a business. You understand what I'm saying? To be able to even know how to build a house. So the material would have been paid from the same company, in my opinion, and they would have done the labor for free. But that's not how it was presented to the community that were going to be funding this. And that's the questions that I have. Was this a business? Were they giving the labor for free? And were you buying the material from the company that's building the house? That's all I have. That's what I want to know.
It was my first time being back after the controversy that happened before you guys got there. I was there by myself when that day happened, dude. And that was just one of the you want to talk about letting the air out of your tank. Again, it had already been there 2.5 weeks. I don't know the time exactly.
Well, that's why we
But-
need to give specifics about what took place on what day. Because while we were gone, something was supposed to take place that Thursday.
I went after 2 attempts going to the court, trying to get a protective order, and couldn't get it. I could not believe we're being told someone harboring the phone to where people who got very serious medical needs would not be able to contact anybody or do anything. Abuse, like physical abuse, all of this being reported.
So if they were going to do it for free, then why was there going to be why were they going to be keepers of the money? If they were going to do it for free, then why did they need to, why is it said that they were going to be the keepers of the money that's donated to build the house? If it was free, free means free, baby, not discount, not free. You guys know where I'm going with this. That's why there's a lot still in my mind. Now, you guys may understand it. Maybe you're processing it differently than me. And that's okay. Maybe I'm a little slow in this area. But this is where my questions come up with the Amish and the building. Was it free or was it not free? Okay.
No protective order? Dude, with what I've done with Dad Talk, they literally give protective orders out like candy, guys. Candy. Like, oh, you want a protective order? Here you go.
Hey,
People can
crafting.
make up anything. Couldn't get those protective orders. And so I felt like I want to make sure I'm being told this is what's going on. I want to make sure they're protected. I was doing what they were wanting
Hey,
me to
Mama.
do. I wasn't forcing them to do that. On the other side, Patrick caught Larry stealing his gas.
And that is correct. I did a whole video on the Amish baking system. You can't see it now because all of my Whitaker content that I did at that time is now private for certain reasons. Okay. I'm not making money off of it. I don't want it reviewed because there's an investigation going on, all the things. And I have more information now than I did at that time. Okay. So some of the information isn't correct, but we did do a whole video on the Amish community and their baking system. We did. And they do some, I don't know about all, I'm not in the Amish community, but they do have a baking system that they utilize. That's funded, that is overseen by the Amish community. There's nothing wrong with that, but transparency. Okay, that, in my opinion, anytime you get into someone's religion or somebody's belief system and you ask for transparency, well, it's against our values and our practices to show that to public. We don't do camera, we don't do film. You guys see where I'm going with this, right? So I had a hard time because of the transparency, because I do understand that in their belief system that they don't use cameras, they don't have on film, all of the things. You understand what I'm saying?
And I think he was huffing and puffing about that. He was mad. And dude, that was rough too, because up until that point, I had been so defensive of Larry. I want to see the good in people. Like when I had first started that, so many people just had so much dislike for Larry. And he was so nice around me and came off as genuine. And I didn't start seeing the cracks until later.
Well, I saw the first crack, and that's my opinion that I'm going to say here today. But the other thing that you need to be specific about is
Yeah.
the
Well, let me get through it, because I think I hear what
Yeah, and that's true. He wanted a modest home, and the Amish said that they were going to build a 5-bedroom heated floors. Right, that is correct. I agree with that.
I got to say. And then,
well, make sure you reference the 10 days because that is specific.
Okay,
People
well-
don't understand. And
Okay,
also,
I mean, like I
So
said,
if you guys want to go back and listen to that a little bit more about the Amish straight through without me interrupting it, we will. Because I'm not trying to be a shady ass creator over here and only showing parts that defame him or make him look good or make him just look bad. You understand what I'm saying?
you know, you'd met someone, but you hadn't met the family, hadn't been there to see. And I wanted y'all to see.
I won't stop it. I'm going to let it play straight through.
The next morning when we started out, that's where we went to first, to let them know the news. The Amish agreed, and it was kind of, it was my first time being back after the controversy that happened before you guys got there. I was there by myself when that day happened, dude. And that was just one of the you want to talk about letting the air out of your tank. Again, it had already been there 2.5 weeks. I don't know the time exactly.
well, that's why we
But-
need to give specifics about what took place on what day. Because while we were gone, something was supposed to take place that Thursday.
I went after 2 attempts going to the court, trying to get a protective order, and couldn't get it. I could not believe we're being told someone harboring the phone to where people who got
Maybe I
very
went
serious
back
medical
too
needs
far,
would
or
not be
maybe
able
I
to
didn't go
contact
back far
anybody or do
enough.
anything. No protective order. Like, oh, you want a protective order? Here you go. I mean, people can make up anything. Couldn't get those protective orders. And so I felt like I want to make sure I'm being told this is what's going on. I want to make sure they're protected. I was doing what they were wanting me to do. I wasn't forcing them to do that. On the other side, Patrick caught Larry stealing his gas. And I think he was huffing and puffing about that. He was mad. And dude, that was rough too, because up until that point, I had been so defensive of Larry. I want to see the good in people. Like when I had first started that, so many people just had so much dislike for Larry. And he was so nice around
And
me.
I've said it many times, I'm not a big fan of Larry. I'm just not. And the reason is because he hasn't stood up to his daughter. And that's my issue with Larry. Okay.
And came off as genuine. And I didn't start seeing the cracks until later.
Well, I saw the first crack, and that's my opinion that I'm going to say here today. But the other thing that you need to be specific about is the
Well, let me get through it, because I think hear what I got to say, and then
make sure you reference the 10 days, because that is specific.
Okay,
People don't understand, and I'll
okay,
explain it.
like I said, I'm trying
I'll
to be
explain it if you don't. That way, people understand what's going on in the background.
But with him, that went on. Let's just whatever.
Okay, that's cool, Angela.
Wouldn't give
Interesting.
protective order. So lots of people in the comments and everything, and already told me call adult protection services. I felt like, man, nobody's going to protect them. And I'm eventually, I got to go home. I'm missing my family. I've been gone for weeks, but I'm not going home until I feel like something's done. And so I felt like that was the last resort. And I called. But here's the thing. Nobody knew. They had already been involved.
Did I go back too far?
So if I can go in further, and without next day and getting the protective order.
Well, let's be your protective order. It's Betty's. You helped her get it.
Right.
And it was a 10-day temporary that Betty was required to go back in. That's how ex partes work.
I think I went too far, and I'm not going to try to find it.
To make it permanent. That way, all the naysayers think, oh, it was this, oh, it was that, oh, it was Patrick, oh, it was Larry, oh, it was Betty. No, it was Betty's temporary 10-day that she was required to go back and get. So while we were running around on that Thursday getting the Amish on board, what was she supposed to do?
Well, and then the next day, when Adult Protection Services got back with me, I told them, like, I'm good now. We got the protective order. They was like, we would still like to meet with you. We love what you've been doing, and thank you for what you've been doing. You're the only one that's came in here and done what needed to be done. I was thanked profusely.
So they're saying that they were out running around doing what they needed to do, and I understand that. So at the time, I believe that Mr. Rorick's leg was broke. He cannot drive. I don't know if anybody's ever broke their leg, but it's a MFer. Okay, it's an MFer. Like, I don't know if you got, just imagine not being able to utilize your leg at all. Can't walk on it. No weight bearing. It's an MFer. Okay, so I don't even know if they had a vehicle at the time. I do not know if Betty and Larry had a functioning vehicle at the time. So I don't know how. Now, this is being the devil's advocate here. Okay, how was it so they get to that meeting? That's my question. And Tom, as it should have been if they were going to do it for free, right? As it should have been, right?
And so I did meet with them. When I got met with them, I was met with a bunch of paperwork and a lot of other things I'm not going to talk about right now, guys.
Well, we met with them.
No, this first time you weren't there yet.
Okay.
Okay. I met with them and I was presented with a lot of stuff. And I said, I would feel much better if Betty was here with me. So I'm here to help. I'm here to help her.
So I'm
That's
talking
basically
about
what I was saying. I'm here to help.
Thursday,
I'm just
Friday.
a conduit. I don't feel comfortable. I want her with me. Can we reschedule this with her? I will let her know what you're meaning here.
I can agree with that,
And,
Native.
I'll come back and meet with her.
But
So
this is
that's what
prior
we're
to,
supposed to do.
but
And I
this is
had
prior
other
to
stuff to
Thursday,
do with her
Friday,
too.
right?
Huh?
This is prior to the Thursday and Friday that we're.
This is prior
talking
to
about.
coming and getting you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
This is
so
all
the,
of it's
so
prior
that
to
the
you
audience
guys getting
knows
there.
this is prior to the Thursday, Friday that me and Mr. Mass were there.
So I got scheduled and we were supposed to meet. I had two things to do that day. I got suspicious about money that was supposed to be owed to them. It's not there. So I was like, let me hold on to this $5,000 that got sent to me. And they was owed more. They were owed more. That was like 2/3. I got sent $5,000 from Patrick. And I wanted, Betty came with me, we were supposed to be going to meet with adult protection services. And after that, I was going to go meet with an attorney about getting a trust started, which is where that $5,000 would go into. I wanted to do that trust account a month before because I didn't want anybody having money in their possession that belonged to anybody. I didn't want us anywhere near it, Mark.
You want to name that attorney?
I would, but I don't know if I can.
Okay.
So just, you know what?
So that's where it also gets a little dicey for me because they had mentioned that the Amish were going to be over the donations for the house. Okay. And then they wanted a trust account for the payoff of YouTube and the social media platforms. Is that what I'm gathering here? I don't know because I'm not involved that much in it like that. But it was that. So we were going to have the Amish be the keepers of the build fund, and the money that was made off the platforms were going to go into a trust. Now, how were the people that are alive and well that's making this content, was that trust fund set up? I wonder, I don't know, it was never set up, but if they were going to be able to get so much money a month, how was that going to work? Because how a lot of people are paid off of their content on YouTube is it goes directly into someone's checking account. And then there's your money. Spend it as you want. You know what I mean? So I'm confused with that.
Rome wasn't built in a day. We'll talk about what we can right now.
Okay.
And I hope they respect the fact that I am being as reserved as I am. Because again, the truth is my best friend. The only reason I'm not just coming out is because I'm not supposed to.
Well, on that Friday, there's still two.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. I know it's taking a while.
And can I ask you a question? So was that conversed about the trust fund and everyone agreed with it? Apparently Betty agreed with it because she was supposed to go to an attorney to talk about said trust the same day that the court date was. See, this is why it gets fucked up for me. The same day that the court, right? Was it the same day that the court was that they were going to go to? No, that wasn't the same day. I'm getting myself confused. Let's keep listening.
Dude, here's the thing. If you leave out any little bit of context, you're looking for people to find one little chink in you. You could say 1,000 things right. You get one thing wrong. That'd be the thing they talk about for the next 2 years. So sorry, we're getting there, guys.
We're not going to get it wrong because we were there.
Absolutely.
No one
Anyway,
was there.
that meeting is supposed to be coming up and meeting with Adult Protection Services and that attorney.
Okay, here we go. So the meeting with the Adult Protective Services and the trust was the same day. Got you. Not the court date. Not the court date. Not the court date. Scratch that. Scratch what I said. APS, trust, same day. Got it.
At the email to show and said, I'm going to come by your office. And the day that I come to get her, she's not there. I'm met by Larry. He comes out, Betty's not here right now. I was like, where'd she go, Larry? Oh, she went to get dog food. I was like, dog food? She knew we had this meeting. I was like, Larry,
Absolutely.
He's waiting on us, man. You know, I was like, look, I guess I'm just going to wait and see what's going on. He's like, all right, this is what he's going with. So in the beginning, people were always begging, wanting to send money or something to the family. Coloring books, you name it, was always saying no, 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 no. But coloring books, stuff like that, seemed innocent, right? The big thing is, to do that, you got to have an address. The one thing I didn't want is the Whitakers having their address out there. People were already finding them, Mark. And again, they weren't famous for this going on because of anything I or he had done. They was already that way. They'd been on the internet for years. And originally, that was getting sent to Patrick because he was supposed to take it to them so nobody knew their address. But I felt very uncomfortable about that, bro. I went to the post office and I was trying to get him a P.O. box. So that's where I went.
He said he was going to. Right here it says
waiting on her to come back.
Hang on. He said he was going to, but it never happened. If it happened, the money would be sitting in the trust. It never happened. He says it right here. He never went to the attorney out of his own mouth. Right? Are you guys hearing the same thing I'm hearing?
2 people out behind the post office. I've never seen this anywhere else before in my life. Again, there's a reason they call it. But the post office is also somebody's house. And yeah, like half house, half post office. But let me say this. Those people are amazing. So nice. Again, Eric, thank you so much. They knew my name. They knew all kinds of, that was what was weird. I would go up to people trying to do stuff and they already knew who I was, what I was there for and everything, you know? And I know they'll remember me specifically because they had a dog that almost tore me to pieces. I came walking up, tried to fight him because the post office wasn't open, but they were sitting on the porch to the back. And, but they were still closed. I didn't get that accomplished because it was closed. They told me to come back I went back down to see if she had got back. And I sat there for a while, and finally he came out with it. He was like, yeah. He's like, you've been online telling people that you're trying to get people to come and take the family. I can't say names right now. And I'm like, up until then, I'm being told dog food. And I'm like, what did you say? Because I'd already heard it before. I am up here away from my family. I've been using my money to get clothes, food, doctors, like all of this. Yes, I needed to get reimbursed. But at that point in time, that was on me, brother. I'm like, I'm doing all of this. And this is what you think I'm doing?
Time away from your family that you could have been creating experiences.
None of those accusations, nothing. I was their favorite.
And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what. I think what I've heard is, now I haven't heard it directly out of the person's mouth. This is a rumor from Odd West Virginia to my damn computer. Rumor, that they were terrified of APS because that was thrown around from a family member a lot when that person didn't get what they wanted, allegedly. So as soon as they started talking APS, the family got nervous. This is what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true. Did it come from the Whitaker family itself? Absolutely not. But this is what I'm hearing. This is what I've heard. Okay? That they got nervous because that was something that someone always said that they were going to do if they didn't get what they wanted. And it made them nervous.
Person in the world. I don't trust the other person. I trust you. I've got proof of that. I got so much that people have not seen. But I'm hearing this from the guy. And that's
correct.
It was my first time I lost my temper with him. I was like, you started this. None of that happened until I went to the protective order. His daughter, for the first time, had to be responsible for the crimes that was going on. And then now I'm the bad guy because nobody had ever done what I consider, my opinion, the right thing. I hear there's people not being taken care of, a phone being blocked. When people got heart problems and they're older, they need that phone. Get a little heated. Anyway, none of that crap started. None of that crap started until then. It was because of her. And I knew who was feeding this into Betty. I knew it. And she was being manipulated, my opinion. Anyway, and I said, are you kidding me? I was like, what do you need? I used to sit down with the phone, every one of them, like, and show them, look at this, look at this. I wanted them to connect. They wanted to connect. They loved it. Be careful.
Exactly.
You want me to talk about my first meeting with?
Well, here comes DJ's son and her pulling up, and she gets out, and I could tell something was going on. Well, I called Adult Protection Services because they was waiting on me. They've been waiting for like an hour. I called them. I had something I should have told earlier. You can't get cell phone signal there, so I had to go all the way down miles
I don't know.
signal to call. And I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I was coming, planning on doing what I was. When I got there, nobody was there. And then after that, that's right, I left again to let them know now I'm being accused that I'm trying to get you guys to come and rip the family away.
But you have to understand, Mr. Carroll, that whenever APS starts coming around people's houses that know that they don't have everything that they need on a daily basis and they lack in some things, it makes them nervous. Okay. And I'm not sure if you're understanding their point of view. I think things were moving too quick. It should have been slowed down. I keep saying this. The momentum of this should have been slowed down. People would have viewed. People would have stayed connected. Look how long we've been talking about this now. They would have stayed connected. It needed to slow down. Because anything moving fast is going to go to a halt real quick, right? In my opinion.
That is not right. They was like, what do you want us to do? I was like, the only thing I know is like, I don't know. I was like, would you guys come here? And they did. I'll give them that. They came all the way there. So around the time that Betty showed back up, here they come. And so as soon as I started about them trying to say like I was calling and doing this or that, Adult Protection Services was the one that spoke up, and they was like, no, he is not. If you want to know the truth, he is the reason that you're able to stay. He's trying to help you stay. He's trying to get you a home. He's the one that's been helping you. And they got the other side of this. And Betty said, I don't know. I've got so many people in my head. And she apologized to me numerous times. And I was like, Betty, I have no other reason to be here. I'm here for you. And
they were trying to tell Mr. Carroll what they were feeling. But in my opinion, Mr. Carroll wasn't connecting with them in this moment emotionally and understood. You know what I mean?
Dude, That's how that day went. So
Well, but so people
trust
know that,
account,
but that
never
day is
got-
not, that day
people
is
want
not,
to know how did 5,000 get caught with me? There you go. Because Adult Protection Services came, but the attorney who was going to set up the trust, I was just going to go by his office afterwards. All that had been happening is email. I had explained what I wanted to do.
All that was happening was an email. There was no trust set up at this point. Someone in the chat said that he set up a trust. No, he didn't. He's telling you. I'm not telling you. Mr. Carroll himself is telling you.
come by there. And I did send a follow-up email letting them know I'll have to try to do it some other time. But by all the time all this happened, you guys came in and then it went to hell in a handbasket.
So there you go. Now, can we clarify that? There was not a trust set up. There were a lot of thinking about it, but there was no actual trust set up.
So
but that's my point. So people know this is what took place the week before.
that's before you got here. Now we're going into
No, but you got to reference that because
yeah. I mean,
you and I were just talking about Thursday, Friday, and then you jumped to the previous week.
yeah.
So people understand what you were just talking about specifics was the previous week.
Yeah. That's the thing, dude. The story is very complex. There's just so much. And it was crazy enough why people go and try to stir up so much false.
It is, but so that Friday, which is
I'll let you talk.
So that Friday, which is the Friday after the Thursday, we come back from Virginia from the Amish. That Friday, we go and meet with Betty and Larry in the morning and say, okay, we've got the Amish. Here's our whole day planned out. We got to go look at pulling permits. We got to go to codes and compliance. You know, we got to go to survey. We got to look at utilities. We got to look at the plot. That was our Friday, right? So Friday morning, we go and say, okay, here's where the three of us are going today. We'll check back in with you because we told Betty and Larry, hey, we're going to Virginia.
Well, I wanted to introduce you. You've never been.
No, but I'm talking.
What did I do?
Timeline.
What did I do before that? You remember?
What day? What I'm trying to look. I'm in the story and I'm trying to stay on the
I
same
know.
page.
I know.
What
The
day
morning
are-
that we went and you got to meet him for the first time. I went by and got food and
Yeah.
did it every time I went.
Yeah.
I never went empty-handed.
Before we go to run around, they're ecstatic. We're ecstatic. We're letting them know the Amish are on board. Now we got to go do this, that, and the other.
And that was why I wanted, and it went into a very long story to get it there. That's why I
But
wanted to
honestly, they said they would pray about it. And a check was offered. A $500 check was written to the Amish by Mr. Mass, which she says this in this podcast. But the Amish said, no, keep it. We got to pray on it. So, for my opinion, I would have been excited that they were even thinking about it, but it wasn't confirmed yet, in my opinion, from the way I'm interpreting. But I could be wrong.
present it to you guys because what you don't understand, put yourself in my shoes for a second. I felt so awkward being there at that point. Mark, I'm being accused of trying to get a family taken away or breaking up a family. The very ones I'm trying to build a home for. And I mean, you even got the people responsible for doing an action like that showing up and saying, that's not true. That is not true. It's the opposite. But after you get something like that, there was that part of me like, what am I here? Why am I here? You know, I know what I was there for and I loved it. And I loved them so much, Larry and BJ. I think all of that started there. And it hurts me to say that because I was so protective of Larry. I know I've already said that, but you guys just don't know. I wanted him to be big brother, taking care of family. I'll fight for you, man. I'll fight for you. You know, it hurt me when I heard them say, hold it, my headphones are getting caught down here. It hurt me when I heard them say, you know, like how people had portrayed the family and talking about their culture and their background and stuff like that. It hurt me so bad. I don't know what that's like. I don't want to know what that's like.
And that's why the trust wasn't there. They don't know who to trust. Apparently, allegedly, they didn't know how to trust. You know, they didn't know who to trust.
I know that image has been put out there on you. I've seen it. I want to help reverse that. I really do. I wanted to help reverse that. And I believed him when he talked about the pain of that. I really did. And so when that happened, man, when we showed up that day, even though, you know, it was happy and everything, it was like, you know what? Mistakes happen, but we're still here doing what we're doing. And this whole time, the other side is in a wheelchair at home doing nothing, which was typical for me. Whenever there was any action taking place, like real action, progress, I didn't stop. The only time, you know, thinking back at it, when we were going through that timeline, that last month that I was there, dude, the day you and Robert got there, in which I drove to Charlotte and all the way back, I think I cooked later on that night.
Girl.
That was the only night that I actually sat down and rested. The other times I was going nonstop, bro. And now here I am at this house.
We had the Amish
Where
on
these
board.
accusations are going. Yeah. But permits, give us, what a little information that we need. And I just wanted people to know what that was to leave, but I didn't want to leave. There was a part of me as bad as I wanted nothing more than to see my family and to fall asleep at night with my bed or with my heart up. You can take it, bro.
Everyone is on a high. Like we woke up that morning, we were
So
still
excited.
literally on the high from the day before, right? We couldn't stop smiling. We couldn't believe that we had even accomplished, getting them on board. So now it was like, okay, what's the next step? Like I said, permitting. So we let them know. And this is the first time.
Okay, for me, I have a problem with that statement because I go buy a lottery ticket. I'm not going to say, well, guaranteed I want to win. I want to be 10 grand. Watch me scratch this. I'll be like, oh, I didn't win 10 grand. Damn. Okay. They said that they were going to pray about it. They wouldn't accept the $500 donation towards it yet because their group of people had to pray about it. So there could have been a decision made in their community that wasn't going to be the right thing for them to do, because you are asking a community to just give away the labor part of this. I mean, I may be picking at something that isn't, but he keeps saying that they were on board. They didn't commit 100% that day, sir. And I don't mean any disrespect to you. I'm just saying how I'm viewing it and hearing it.
And Mr.
I
Mass,
never count my chickens before they're hatched. You know what I'm saying?
are meeting Betty and Larry.
Can I pause you again for a second?
Go for
There's
it.
just one more. It's my turn. It's my turn, Mark.
As long as you don't miss these specific points, because there's two specific.
I know,
points.
it's just not it.
There's two
The other
specific
part about the
points on Friday that-
celebration and why it felt so good.
Yeah.
All the people there that claimed ulterior motives. It's only for yourself. It's like, Amish are on board, baby. We're about to go get these permits. You're about to see some construction. There was an I told you so in there. We were ready to go. We were so ready to go. So when he's talking about that excitement, it was through the roof.
Well, that's why we walked the property.
And it wasn't about credit. It was to shut up the people that all they ever had to do was something negative or to try to talk down. Those are the type of people that wouldn't even go help out their own mom if she was struggling, let alone strangers. And so they want to talk about people in the comments because it makes them feel better when they look at their own reflection, right? But this was going to be the thing, like, here you go. Now what do you got to say?
I know people that have left their own mom in the hospital, did a 20-minute visit and left. And I'm like, who does that? That woman raised you. You gave her 20 minutes of your time and then left?
No, that was it. That was it.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't
thought-
know who they're talking about there. Who they're referring to.
Myself, I didn't know whether I
for reference. So you, me, and Mr. You brought him the snacks, everything. We did the introduction. We talked to everybody, and randomly a truck rolls up. Red Chevy.
This is what I found interesting as well. And we kind of this is where we kind of picked up from last night, but I found it very interesting because there could be plausible situations here.
for expensive, especially for someone who doesn't work. So this is my first impression, and I'm like, who's that? Larry gets up and goes, yeah, that's my grandson. And he gets up off the couch, he reaches into his pocket and pulls a wad of cash out about this thick. And if I had to guess, $2,000, $2,500, and he hands it to the grandson, who's in this expensive $50,000 red Chevy. And I'm just going, why is someone coming to a place of people that are poor? Number one. And number two, why is Larry pulling a wad of cash out of his pocket and giving it to the grandson? And number three, that's the son of BJ, right? Who's got the restraining order. So what's he doing here? Is he sidestepping the restraining order and doing something for BJ? Because we know BJ is supposed to be on the property. So that's my first.
So right there in that conversation, right there, there's a lot of accusations that we don't know. What I heard was that somebody lent them a vehicle to one of the grandsons to have transportation back and forth to work. I got your message, Mama Bear. That was transporting. You needed transportation back and forth to work. So a friend in that area lent them a vehicle to utilize to get back and forth to their employment. And we do not know if that person gave them money to hold to pay bills for any. Here's my paycheck. I need you to hold it because if you don't hold it, I'm going to spend it. Right. Allegedly, the one that they're talking about has had some problems in the past. And he has turned a new leaf. Allegedly, I don't know. But maybe he knew that he would have a problem if he had money on him and they needed to save for rent or whatever. I don't know. But I do know that there was a borrowed vehicle to one of the grandsons of Larry Whitaker to utilize to get transportation. I have a problem with someone just assuming. If we're not allowed to assume things, then you, sir, shouldn't be allowed to assume things either. You know what I'm saying?
Introduction to Larry. I'd never met BJ yet, and now I'm meeting the grandson who's in a really expensive vehicle, and Larry's handing him a wad of cash, and I'm just going, ding, there's another red flag. And then when you go forward and you think back to the conversation the first time I meet Patrick, and Patrick's making, you know, a statement of, did you know that Betty took money out of her account today? That was literally like the night before. And now I'm seeing Larry with cash in his hand, and he's handing it to the grandson. I'm just going, whoa, what is going on?
Reason they call it odd.
Yeah. So that was my first introduction to Betty and Larry's, watching Larry hand the guy who doesn't work rolling up in a $50,000.
But again, I can see where it looks suspicious. You don't know the family, you don't know the dynamics, you don't know the information. I just happened to hear the rumor. Okay, we'll call it a rumor that he was utilizing someone else's vehicle. But I gotta say that I could understand this perspective. But to get up and just accuse or speculate like a matter of a fact, then that's a little dicey for me.
Truck, a wad of cash. And so again, we let it slide by the wayside. I let the comment the night before or whatever it was that Patrick came up in the wheelchair commented about
Yeah, it did look bad. It looked bad.
And we go about our business. We go down that
comment.
I have to agree.
We were literally sitting.
It did look bad. I have to agree. It looked bad. But I would have maybe investigated a little bit. I would have been like, oh, that's a nice vehicle. Where'd you get that at? Or, wow, that's a beautiful. But Chevy, I probably wouldn't ask because I'm a Ford gal.
There talking to people who had found me. They had found me where I was staying, guys, to come and warn me about guy in a wheelchair and the situation in the area.
Yep.
And they went silent when he came around. I don't think that statement was to really tell me anything. It was just to find out like what's going on. And what was crazy, dude.
He said it right here that his grandson's buying a very expensive truck. And that's expensive for someone with no job. You know, so I'm assuming he's referring to man has truck, comes, gets cash, equals nefarious. That's my assumption. Not saying it's a fact, my interpretation.
There was a lot of people in that area that was looking out like almost like a spy. They knew what everyone was doing. Everyone. It was weird.
So that's Friday morning, right?
Yeah.
Odd red flag, like already knowing the Mark issue and the money and the receipts and what Larry had made comments before. So now we just go about our business, right? And we're given the code guy's location. It was the wrong location. We end up at the courthouse, and then the bailiff is like, "Oh no, that's down here. You know, they know you're coming. I've already let them know you're coming." So our first stop is permit application. And do you want to give that lady's name to give her some?
I don't have it out here. Next
Yeah.
time I come, I'll have it. Oh, because we got all of their cards, guys.
Yep.
We went. So that was the first one. And remember that building, it took us forever to find it because it was hidden. And they said it was back kind of like.
Realized is that we had went downtown and we're at the wrong location. And so you walked into the courthouse and the bailiff directed you and basically was like, they know you're coming.
They won't say anything. Just walk. When I talked about Linnea Brooks, such a sweet lady. But we left that Airbnb. One, because I didn't want any of that coming up there. And we already, I'm being told about this apartment just completely destroyed. There was still another week on that place, and I let the owner keep every single bit of that, guys, because of the damage. And I'm going to tell you, it probably did not suffice for what was there. This was a guy that went and installed a TV for someone who likes TV that didn't have a TV in his bed.
I mean, they could have.
The main TV.
I think they would hide my money.
There's nothing wrong with it. He went and bought a brand new 65-inch. Then gave me that 65-inch that I gave.
I know people that
That
listen.
was on that live video.
Larry may have a fat stash of cash. We don't know. I know someone that was elderly that put all their money in their mattress. They didn't use a banking system. Believe it or not, no. They got money orders for their bills, and their money was stashed in their mattress, honey. Okay, like, hey, older people have different ways of doing their finances. Larry might be sitting as a millionaire. We don't know.
Out of his way so many times to be there for us. And then this is how you get repaid. So we were going to leave that. When I'm at your house, I treat it better than I treat my own. I don't know who else has that code out there. Airbnb, like I got 5-star reviews, man. I've been all over the country. I would rather stay at Airbnb than I would a hotel because it feels more like home. I'm already out of town. I want it to feel like home. And I mean, I make
Okay,
sure I
so
do
let me,
everything. I'm gonna
are
take
you
out the trash.
stating that
I
as
have
an
the dishes. If I
fact or
don't
as
wash them, they're
your
at least gonna be in the
opinion?
dishwasher. A lot of times I
Are
go
you
ahead and have
stating that as your fact or as an opinion? Do we have a receipt on a withdrawal for $5,000? Do you have a picture of 5,000? Do you know, or was that hearsay? Hearsay and fact are two different things. I need to know, are you stating that as a fact? Okay, if you're gonna say, you can say, in my opinion, I heard it was 5,000. Okay, did we see the withdrawal slip? Did this gentleman get up here and say, well, I've seen a withdrawal slip for $5,000, and the next day here comes a guy in a nice, shining, brand new truck, and Larry handed him a wad of cash? Okay, we don't know. I've never heard. I don't think Patrick said he was told she went. He was in a freaking wheelchair. I don't think he could drive anywhere. That's my opinion.
them washed. All the bed sheets, they're in the laundry. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. It was a wreck, guys. But what did it matter? You want to know the sad thing? Well, sad for me, it was in my name. Person had a home, but because they had broke their leg being somewhere they weren't supposed to be, really, that I was not a big idea or was not consulted on, said, hey, it would be nice, you know, if I could have a place like that, and just to get away from everybody and just to kind of heal. And okay, not only did I get it, Mark, went and bought groceries.
Right?
I think like $250, $300 in groceries. Your eggs, your
Yeah,
milk,
5K.
your
This is what
bacon,
they said.
your,
His stash of cash already burned up in the trailer, remember? Allegedly, from what's being told. Now, I have my own theory on that too, but it's speculation nation, no facts. I'm going to let this play because I got to get some more water.
bread, everything, stocked it up. So, man,
that's-
get yourself better.
But that's
Sit
the
here and
beginning,
get yourself better.
that's
I'm
the
here
beginning of
from
the week.
Georgia. I got it out under control.
That's the beginning of the week.
It's the beginning of the week. I just want to come up here. Dude, that lasted for like a
Because
day.
he,
The
because
rest
he
of the
will-
time, the whole freaking neighborhood was there.
Yeah.
And it was in my name. But guys, we leave. Because again, I wanted, and I told him, I know I had it for another week, keep that. And if that doesn't suffice for the damage, just let me know. And he was more than nice to us. And that's what I said. There were some amazing, amazing people in that area. But we was able, Linnea had an Airbnb too. That was smaller, but it was also secluded. Like, go here. Since people know you're here, you'll be better. I'll be damned. Guys, we got to that new place. It was a good bit away. We weren't even there 10 minutes. And me and Mark see a truck pulling up the driveway. This isn't a place that you're getting a lot of traffic.
Okay.
And we was like, what in the hell is going on?
That's the following week, though. That's the following Monday.
I know, but I'm just like, we're talking
still
about how
not-
crazy it was being found at that Airbnb. We weren't even at the new one 10 minutes. Somebody,
All right, so this is the Airbnb. They had to move around because people were finding them, which I can believe. I can believe people were finding them. I believe that it was actually in a safe. That's what I heard. Now, I don't know that I'd ever seen the safe. Was never at their house, but I heard it was locked in a safe. So, all right.
else done found us again. And this is a good supporter. Man, I got your house. I got your food, anything you need. You're on the right track. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We've been waiting for somebody to do this. It was nuts. The support, guys.
Very
Okay.
front audience. Remember,
That was
70-year-old
afterwards.
70-year-old. So we go to
Go back
permitting.
to permits and
we,
everything.
we go to permitting that office. Lovely ladies in there. We love those ladies. They were like
It's amazing.
A, B, C, D, E. You know, oh, you're going to use Yamish. Okay, you got to do this. You got to do that. No problem.
I think
What
at
does
one
she
of
do?
them they were,
She
yes.
says you have to go talk. And I don't know if you want to name this gentleman's name, but you have his card.
Well, and one of the problems wasn't it like the Amish didn't have insurance or certain licenses or something like that?
We had worked that out. Do you want me to go in detail on that?
No, just, I'm just saying there
Yeah.
would have been special.
Well, that's why I said A, B, C, D,
Yeah,
E.
there would have been
Her and I-
special alphabet stuff we had to do.
So
for
her
them
and
to
I-
go
And
Right.
out.
we did do some research on that, and I think when the logistics finally ironed itself out, if this would have took place, they would have found that it's an airship, and I don't think that you can build on it. A permanent residence. Now, moving a trailer in and out may be different. I don't know. I don't know the law in West Virginia, but building a permanent residence requires a lot of things, being deeds of the property. All of those things you have to bring forth. I've not heard yet during this live that they had access to the deeds. They had talked about, there was a lot of talk, a lot of applications being gathered, right? We'll listen, but for me, I don't know. My husband handles house stuff. So he tells me what I need to know, and I'm like, okay, whatever, but I don't know. But if it's an airship with multiple people, then I don't know. Okay.
discussed it. I said, I'm going to be the project manager, this, that, and the other. We talked about local contractors.
So that's where I got project manager at, because he said he was going to be project manager. Now, was that going to be a paid position or voluntary, and where was that money coming from?
If you want me to go in detail, I can go in detail on that. Or we can
Just go ahead.
So she refers us and says, you need to go talk specifically to this gentleman. Do you want to?
I don't think so.
I
where
don't
he
remember it
lives?
offhand, but we got his card.
Okay, so
Maybe
this
Tom
gentleman,
knows.
we then
Waited in
drive.
the office, what, 45 minutes? before
Tom,
we
do
got
you know how they were going to skirt around the airship, the property be an airship? There was no shoebox that was in the trailer that burned. The power had been off 2 weeks and the meter was pulled 5 days before the fire. Larry told the locals Mark was coming to get a new trailer. Yeah, oh my God. That's disgusting. Not you guys. Somebody had we had us a troll in the chat. They waited 20 minutes to say that shit too. they waited, Molly. They waited 20 minutes to say that. Good for you. Patience is a virtue, my friend. Oh Lord. Okay, so I look away. Mama Bear, it's fine. I got it. I missed it. What it say? Somebody likes BBC. Okay, I'm like, ugh. There's like 16 people involved. It would take a very long time, right? I'm like, ugh. Now I got a message here. Okay. All right. So, didn't see it. Thank God. I was like, waited 20 minutes.
Talk to him.
Yeah, so we go to Code's office.
I was asking Tom a question. Did they get the applications, but turning them in and then having a code enforcer or a guy that goes around and to the property that you're going to build and do the red stakes and they red tape or they red mark it off or whatever, they put the stakes in the ground, whatever. We hadn't got that far yet. So maybe during the processing and paperwork, they would have found out that it's an airship and there was no deed to that particular property. Then maybe it would have been a bust anyways, right? Do you know anything about airship? Somebody talk to me in the chat.
Who's in charge of here's what you can and cannot do on the property. And then he prints out the plot plan for the property that they live on and goes, okay, well, you can't do anything here because we just really, and again, well, you did a live on this, but I'm just going to repeat it. He says you cannot build here or here, which is both sides of those streets. One side of the street,
and I still got those. I did.
One side of the street, not their property. The other side of the street is their property, and the other side of the street is where the other trailer was lit on fire. Remember?
And I want to say it was my first time hearing this, but it actually wasn't. I wanted to say I think it was one of the magistrate judges, but I had been told where they were staying currently, their house was not on their own property already.
And this gentleman at Codes confirmed that with us. He said, here's this plot, here's their plot, here's the neighbor's plot.
It had been owned by numerous people. And the only thing that makes sense to me, guys, and the family didn't seem to know anything about it. I'm thinking whoever it was, when they bought that property, there was some kind of deal to, watch after them because you have like homestead exemption. I was shocked to find out they got 17 acres. And so I'm like, 17 acres? Why in the world would you live here? Like your step is literally in the road almost.
But
so we found the same information and it says that it was in the father's name. Well, the father isn't alive to allow a build being built, right? So I don't know if anyone else owns property and has ever built a brand new home from scratch, but I'm sure that I can't go over to the Whitaker property right now and go and say I'm going to build here. That doesn't make any good common sense. You have to show the property, right? Wouldn't you? Or am I just, no, we can just go build somewhere. We can just go, it don't matter if you own it or not. No, don't need it. Now I know if you own a property, you have deeds to that property and the person's name's on it. That's the owner, right? I mean, okay.
Build there. And that gentleman told us.
Is it flood zone?
No, well, yeah,
Flood
because the new 2025 FEMA report said, and back to the permits again, you can't build on either side of the street because it's in the new flood zone. So it's going to get real hard to get in.
I'm calling him Mr. Tom because I could say Tom Q2 264532. So I'm going to say Mr. Tom. They met with someone locally who said the permits wouldn't be a problem, considering they were planning to use a well and not connect city water and use other natural resources. But you still can't. You still can't build on property that's not yours, though, legally. Help me understand. Like, I'm lost here. This is what's confusing me.
Insurance and or a permit to build on either side of that street.
I was a viewer way before that. So everybody remembers the camper on the other side that burned down.
I do.
Mysterious.
But that leads me to believe, since a camper was there, is a camper different in a permanent structure? I don't know, because they did have a trailer up there. Remember, we seen it, and there was, but how long? And the house had burnt down. The trailer was put there after the parents passed away. So how was that done, or was it just done? You know what I'm saying, guys? Was it legally done? I don't know.
I know very little about that, but again, odd.
So
you
we're
couldn't
in,
put it there either.
yeah,
That
so
was still flood zone. So
Exactly.
anybody was like, oh, you got to put it right here. Wasn't going to be able. And
we're in
another
that
thing
gentleman's
is,
office, and what does he say?
you got people showing up. I think there was one time somebody showed up at like 2:00 in the morning or something like that.
Mhm.
I was like, that is crazy. Let them have their privacy and everything. You got 17 acres. Go back here where nobody can see you. And for any other ones, like, yeah, but why on camera? Dude, I have done hundreds of similar stuff like this, Mark. Never saw the light of day, never was on camera. When you're talking about building a home, you're in the hundreds of thousands. We're already looking. If we had built it for 150 or 200 grand, that's cheap. I don't know what it would have ended up costing, but it would have been up there. That's a lot of money that needs to be made. Not only that, the house would have probably been the cheaper part. When you start looking into that caretaking, and then somebody lives 20 or 30 years, and you do up the hourly rate, 12 months in a year, 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks in a month, it was going to be a lot of money. That was why. And it had already been done for a long time for the wrong reasons. Can somebody...
And we done the math over here one day on 24-hour care, what it would cost. I guess you technically could. Right? I mean, holy macaroni. Yes, exactly. I remember Betty stating on one of Mark's videos that Larry stating that Betty, or somebody said that Betty had bought it for Larry. So it was thereafter, right? So it would fall under the same ordinance as building a shed. Okay, but you can't. My problem with this is I still go back to, I'm not saying that their efforts were done in vain. Okay, I'm not saying that. I think this was a great idea. You've seen how many people got behind this movement to get the Whitakers finally a home of their own on their own property. I was part of that movement. Yeah, let's do this, man. Let's do this shit. So you had a lot of momentum behind us. But when we get down to the nuts and bolts of it, would it ever even been possible at the time? It may have been down the road as it went through probate court. We cannot bypass the legal system. If you're going to the court records, you're getting permits, you're having surveys done. You got to go through the proper procedures. You know what I mean? Let's pretend you wanted to build a shed in your neighbor's yard. You don't own the property, but unless your neighbor owner complained, I guess it's built away. Okay, so they're going to do some backdoor building. Is that what you're saying? I mean, I can believe it. I can believe it. There's some rural areas that, like, you don't tell on me, I ain't telling on you. I believe it. That could potentially been done. That's potentially could have been done. Okay, I follow you. I wanted someone to say it. Okay, because what it said is just, here's what the thing out in certain parts of the country, just do it and ask permission after, right? That's what we're getting. I wanted someone to say it. All right, you do it and then you ask for permission after you're done. Got you. That's what was going to be done here. I wanted someone to say it.
Come in here and do it for the right reasons and make someone's life turn around. That was my idea. But anyway.
So we didn't even realize, hey, there's a flat spot up top, which would get them away from, anybody harassing them. You could put a gate, and then we have to find out, okay, well, where are the nearest utilities coming in? So you did the video, or I did the video of you
Right.
walking that easement. That's where that video came from. So now this gentleman at Codes is saying, well, up top here is a flat spot, which
It was
looks
the
down
only
on the
flat spot
property.
there.
Susan's
The only flat spot there.
It
Yeah.
was nothing but like major.
Susan
hills
pulling
and,
the
like,
brakes
just-
on all of us over here doing some backdoor building. I'm down for backdoor building, honey, okay? Susan said, skirt, roll it back. Roll it back. She says here, damn thing won't undo. Let me see her thing on here. It says in West Virginia, you do have to show proof of land ownership when you apply for permits. It's necessary to ensure compliance with land use, property lines, and safety regulations. She done pulled us all the way back. See, we're all on the same page, and here she comes. Okay. Right. I mean, could it be potentially, that's going to be a lot of money asking. I mean, you guys see what I'm saying here, right? We still, got you. Yeah. But I think maybe if I don't even know. I know that laws are different in different areas of the world. In the
It's gotta be
land.
cool because now we're going to put them up here, right?
Yeah.
Up above the property.
It
Look
was an
down.
amazing view.
They'd be able to look down on where they used to live. So like a
And
new
it
beginning.
would have been like away from everybody.
Yep.
To give you context, guys, we had to go down a back road. And to get to that part that we was, that little bitty clip that you did see, that was like, I think, a couple of hours of scouting. You just saw a little clip of it. That used to be a road. It wasn't even a road anymore. The old sign was there, like where the road was. That ain't been a road in decades. Camping.
Maybe
I mean,
someone
somebody had to
camp.
past was not with us. He went with us to the permits for life over really near that years. I think since they had moved over, they went from Pennsylvania to my friend that was going to have time. And after that, we wanted to report our findings. Go ahead.
Do you want to show any of the plot plans, or you want to save those for later?
No, don't be
keep going
showing
later.
them people's
I mean,
plot
it's going
plan.
longer than I expected it to.
Don't show the Whitaker's property lines. Don't do it. On your next live, Eric, don't do it. That's getting into too personal, their private information, and it's none of our business. All right? It's none of our business. Don't show the property. If someone going to come up here and start showing my goddamn property lines, I'm going to have a problem with you. All right? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
So now,
It
so
sucks
time
even
on,
reliving all this, dude.
so time wise, we're going from morning time through lunch, at all the agencies, getting the information that we need. Literally after we left, it was either his place or walking the property. Then we went to survey. We lined up survey, right, to come out. They were going to come out either Monday, Tuesday, or
We
Wednesday.
did that before we came home.
Yeah,
After we did the zoning, when
Yeah.
the guy that brought us in the office and showed us the flood zone and stuff,
Okay.
you had found that surveyor. I can
Yeah.
tell you guys exactly where it was. The Walmart there in Beckley, right across the street, across from the Golden Corral. There's a screen. My buddy that came out to support me, paid for his own airplane ticket, which I appreciate so much. And I wish I would have had it at that time. I would have bought it. But this guy, not only did he come out there to do that and was there with me for a couple of weeks and then came back home with me and stayed for a week or so and took that time off from work. Again, I can't appreciate you enough, man. But he was about to pay $1,500 for the surveyor to go ahead and get started. Like he was ready to pay while we were there, but we had to go find the spot first. And then we was coming back to say, here you go.
Because there's red tape, sir. Just like with the Amish. They said, whoa, wait a second. We got to pray about this. Keep your money, Mr. Mass. We appreciate your $500 check, but take that with you. Okay? We're praying about it. Now they're saying, whoa. We're not paying for a survey yet because we got to get through this red tape first. We got to really do. Okay, so a lot of things, like he calls them red flags, would have red flagged me in this as well. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it probably would have been done before I got back to Georgia. That was the plan.
I had him scheduled for.
You did finally went ahead and got it scheduled?
I had him scheduled for Monday, Tuesday. So this is Friday afternoon.
I was outside on the phone.
And I had him scheduled for Monday or Tuesday. He was sick. Remember we went in there and he was sick?
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah,
well, whatever.
or something.
Yeah, I'm like Monday or Tuesday, as soon as you can get out there, because the minute you survey it, boom, we're ready to go. We're calling, we're gonna go get the permit. We're calling construction guys because you had that crew that called you from out of state and said, let me know, we'll come down. We can help you with foundations, utilities, everything. So we had that crew on standby as well. And you were sitting there going, okay, well, how am I going to do all this from Georgia? And I said, well, I'll just do it. I'll be the project manager. From this point on out, everything that happens, I'll just take care of, and you do all the media stuff. Mr. Mass did his job. He got us in touch with the Amish. The Amish were on board. They're going to handle the finances. They're going to do the build.
Now listen to it. I got Robert from Idaho. I got Mark from California. Listen to all this they done. There was supposed to be somebody from there helping me.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you a damn thing they done the whole month.
He went to a concert, broke his leg.
That was before I got there.
That's what I mean. That's the only thing he accomplished. So now,
So to be fair, when you break a leg, I mean, you ain't doing shit. Okay. I know this firsthand from experience with someone in my family that has a broken leg, that had a broken leg. You cannot even put weight bearing on it for, I don't know, several weeks. Okay.
everything's lined out. And we need to now go tell them the news, right? Hey, you got to tell Betty and Larry, it can't be down here and it can't be across the street because it's in a FEMA flood zone. So you're not going to get permits. We're not going to be able to expedite this whole process. And we got to tell them, what do you think about up above? There's a nice flat spot up there. Now you're going from down below in a flood zone to up above with a view of the hills. I think that would have been a pretty easy sell. So we're jazzed going back on, okay, let's go give them the good news. Let's talk to Betty and Larry. And
I was excited because I had some Amish chips that I had bought.
The damn fucking, I don't know why I get so irritated with the chips. Please let me be softer about the potato chips. The chips.
We were in such a good mood, dude. It was that moment. Finally, we were ready. You know what? As much as I said God needed that right person there at the right time to do the right thing that not many people would have done, he also knew at that time I got that sign. Because, dude, had I not, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just not. I almost didn't say anything. What I saw next, because I hate conflict. I hate it. I have an ex, and stuff, and I
didn't initially know until we got in the car, and you told me.
I saw it as soon as I got out, dude. As soon as I got out, and I knew what it meant when I saw it. As soon as I got out the car in that camper, you could tell it tweaking.
Well, so we get out of the car, and we're not recording at all. You just want to give Betty and Larry the good news, and then all of a sudden you turn to me and you go, "Hit the record button." Still, I'm sitting there going, "I had no idea," but you said, "Hit the record button."
I don't know why it irritates me.
I played it smart.
What's that?
I said I played it smart because you didn't even know what was going on.
I had no idea. You just kept telling me go back and forth between Betty and Larry in the trailer, and I'm like, okay.
Hey, people that are joining in, good to see you.
Mark had no idea what was going on. And like I said, I had some special homemade Amish chips.
Oh my God, I can't take the chip. Oh, please, I'm going to ask you to do a favor because I have to review you. Because my friends on my phone want to know. Stop with the potato chip. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me, and I don't know why. But I'm going to work on it. God is going to give me patience about potato chips. I think it's because I don't like potato chips. I don't like the way they sound when someone eats them. It's like crunch, 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 crunch. I'm like, oh, please. And like the crunching of the ice. If you would say ice, I think my shoulders are up to my ears, guys, right now. I'm sitting here, shoulders to ears about the chips. Oh,
moments that meant something to me. And I wanted to make sure that wasn't disturbed. And after that was
not the one.
I had to. I was specifically told, this was before you got there, when they granted that order. And so on that third day, when we got that protective order, it was a different judge.
That could be.
The other two times it was a different judge. And he was super nice, but he was new. And everybody that heard about it afterwards is like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because he was saying that the abuse and stuff had to happen within the last 48 hours.
That could be some truth.
And like I couldn't believe it, dude. Like, again, they give out protective orders like candy. But when I saw that new judge, he was like, oh my God. And he's like, not only that, and he got me to give him some more details. He's like, I'm getting her going.
We're doing good over here. We're just reviewing, plausible speculation nation, speculation station, rumors, theories, and gossip, honey. That's how we do it over here. I took this clip out of my ear and my hair is literally standing straight out. It looks funny.
Now,
sorry.
No joke, by the time we got back, gone. That was that judge's orders. He was a really good man. He was but when I saw that, dude, and I want people to think of this too. at any point in time, there was a lot of drama going on. What made Jerry Springer so successful, Mark?
Yeah.
If I wanted this to be about anything else, I would have just said, keep the cameras rolling. Do what you do. Takes a different person to say, let's go to doctors. Let's go get a shower, clothes, food. And it sucked because,
I would say in that
then when
point-
I said something, they tried to lie to me. The whole reason I brought that up, again, guys, communication that I've never had before. This has sucked on so many levels. Being under that microscope. That judge specifically told us, if they come back around, you're going to jail. However, if they come around and you don't say something, you're going to jail. When this order happens,
And who's they?
cannot be there.
And who's they? So BJ was ordered
BJ.
to be removed, and the judge
Yes.
said to Betty and Larry, if she shows back up and you don't call, you're gonna go to jail.
Yes.
And so that's
Which
what
would have been, I don't know. I would think so. Probably would have included me.
but
because
that's
they
what's
had me
all
listed
transpiring in this
as-
little this little 4-hour time frame. Everything is transpiring right then and there. So within 4 hours, the House bill went from full steam ahead to dead in the water. Right.
I
then and
mean, deader than dead.
Yeah.
That did it. Well, because that's when I started seeing the deception on so many other levels. And that's where my name had never had anything, dude. And then that, like the person that had done all of this ended up where I'm sitting now. I told her, I was like, you got to call, you got to say something or you're going to go to jail. I didn't know.
Yeah.
They knew that word wasn't any good. That's when Larry tried to play it off so many times, dude. And that's
Well, we
at that point, that was the moment. Like I was already fed up with him. That moment, done.
Well, we have that on video, and
I'm
how
done
we-
with someone. I'm done.
How
That's
do we
my
know when Betty and Larry are lying? They hit that high pitch, right? And that's on the video. They hit that high pitch like, I don't know. What? She's here. What? It's like, come on,
3
man.
different times in that past week, guys. They had been contacted. You missed your court date, but we will put it, we will reinstate this and make a permanent one. Do you want it? No. Did it on the second time? No. So, and on the third time.
And what was
It
Patrick,
is
Betty,
of
and Larry
my
doing?
knowledge that the third time was the day someone came in there
The
and
incident.
took the family. And so it was gave another opportunity. And then as far as missing the court date, that's when I was with the Amish guys. The police came there in person and served the paperwork. Again, I was never told.
So my
any-
question is, was it ever discussed on whose responsibility it was to get the Whitakers to that courthouse that day? We know that Patrick Rorick's leg was broke. I don't think he was able to drive a vehicle. I don't think at the time Betty and Larry had a functioning vehicle. So whose responsibility was it? And such a big, now here's where I get, I have questions. This was a huge situation that needed to be addressed for any of house building to begin, right? So whose responsibility was it to make sure that they got to their court date and Betty got to the court date? Whose responsibility was it?
this
We were in
and
another
said,
state.
this is your court date. I was told specifically by those two judges, this protective order is only good for 10 days. And then you have to come
Not
to
you.
the court.
Don't say you. Say specific.
What do you
Betty and 'cause you is
Betty and
you.
Larry. I got you.
That's why you keep.
Well, no,
getting
it was
confused.
just Betty. It was Betty's protective order.
Well, that's what I mean. But between
Betty's
it was
protective order.
it was Betty's protection order, but between Betty, Larry, and Patrick, they were all saying it was your fault that the protection order didn't get extended. It's like
You
it's
know how
not my
bad
protection.
that just burned.
It's
Oh
not
my
my
God,
protection
dude.
order. It's Betty's.
That hurt so bad, man. Never said anything to me. Never. It was like it was planned.
Well, that's
I
where
don't-
the
you know what?
ulterior motives were.
Betty was the one that wanted to go and get it, Mark.
Exactly.
She wanted it.
Yeah.
I came all the way up from Georgia to do this for you.
And while you were in
You're acting
Virginia,
like somehow it existing, the only thing that had my involvement was me being here doing what you asked me to do. And
So we're gonna let me see how the chat's feeling about this. Okay, let's see. They could have called Eric to let. Okay, could have called Eric. Okay. Okay. Larry or the grandson could have had taken her. Okay. Kenny doesn't drive. Kids are supposed to go against their mother. Right. So I want to hear your guys' opinion in the chat and we'll move forward. Yes, Larry still had his truck. In all honesty, BJ probably had it. Like when Betty was supposed to turn in the papers to see them on Thanksgiving, but she let BJ take the van. I don't think it's ever a let. I think she just does what BJ does. Hey, Faith, they never told Eric they were served. Was he not in the court that day? I don't know. I'm asking a legit question. Like,
Ryan, to make your life better and make you some money and get you a home. And
I'm not putting the blame on Eric. I'm just asking questions.
they're their own worst enemy. And I'm going to tell you, much smarter than people give credit. Much smarter. When I found out,
Was it changed because
and they already knew that I had the wrong.
Didn't they change it because it was missed or something? I
already knew, Betty. I'll do it. Okay. She already knew I had the wrong date in my head. I was thinking 10 days. If it's good for 10 days, then that means on the 10th day we got to go to court. That was my reasoning behind that.
But it's not
Sorry,
your job.
guys. I was wrong.
It's not your job.
No, I was with the Amish. I was literally every day. You know what we were doing? We just sat there and told you guys.
You were in another state.
Absolutely.
And
They called me anytime they needed something. I got called. Can you get my medicine? Can you get me some chewing tobacco? Can you get me this? Can you get me this? But court date, one of the most important things, you can't do that. And then when it went to hell in a handbasket, oh, that was Eric's fault. I am so glad, so glad Patrick released his door ringer footage, because I heard him when they said, Eric's the reason we missed it. And they said, no, ma'am, you are. And they tried to make it my fault.
It's not Eric's restraining order.
Family.
Well, that wasn't exactly what was said. Well, exactly what was said. Now I'm going to paraphrase as well. That it was mentioned about the order of protection not being extended. It was Betty dropped the order. So, I mean, give or take. I mean, here she, it was Betty's order of protection. Absolutely.
That taken away.
You live in Georgia.
I've got opinions on that.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely got opinions on that. But
so if people want to talk about motives,
dude, how my name got brought into anything nefarious or criminal boggles my mind. And let that be a lesson to you guys, even as transparent as you can be.
So who has ulterior motives to miss a court date, miss a meeting with the lawyer, miss a meeting to set up the trust? I'm getting dog food on one of the most important days of your life. Who's
literally,
right?
I honestly think, Mark, the house would be done by now, if not last month.
The house would have been done in a month.
I think so.
Literally, you had that crew in the other state that are like, let me know. Utilities Foundation, we got it. We had the Amish, 6x12, log house, 3 days.
To give insight into what Mark's talking about,
I mean, I don't know if the Amish can build a 5-bedroom house. I mean, to me, this is stretchy a little bit. I'm sorry, I left you up there, Poopsie. And then again, the second one, he should start with being accountable. It hasn't changed with the beginning. They were taken for failure to protect. Why do you think Betty hasn't been able to see them? There was different reasons why, in my opinion, why Betty hasn't been able to see them. But, since we're not involved in APS, we don't have direct communication with APS. It's always rumor. And probably told not to go. God only knows at this point. They asked Betty 3 times and she said no. That showed the judge. Let me go up here. That showed the judge she couldn't protect the 3. She chose BJ over the 3. Sorry, but she did. That's Hillbilly's opinion. Yeah, there was. They said 10 days. He thought court was 10 days from that day. Betty had the date and was called to reschedule twice. And the third time, the day they took the 3. Okay. Now, do we have that a clip somewhere, Mama Bear? Like he said, I'll make sure they get there, and we can have to go back and look at the videos.
of some people. They didn't even want it to be mentioned, man. I mean, it was so awesome.
But having a 5-bedroom house built in 3 days is, I mean, maybe the structure, the framing, I would assume, but that this guy just said 3 days. I mean, I know the Amish are good, but
of people that wanted to help, and that was kind of one of the challenges too. So many people wanted to help and do stuff. It was overwhelming. And then on top of that, I've got the people trying to tell me how to tie my own shoes and everything else.
I do too.
Like there was so many people trying
I
to tell
do
me, like,
too.
you need to do this, or you need to do this, or you need to do this. And let me just take a second, man. This is one of the parts that
I
bothers me.
honestly think that Betty did not know that the judge meant what the judge said, that with the order of protection, and if it wasn't followed through, I don't think she believed that there was going to be an outcome. Okay, I really do. Because I think that if she really knew that they meant business, that I think she probably would have made a different choice, no matter how much she was pressured. But this is just my opinion. I don't know this to be a fact. I was not told this. This is my opinion. Looking at it now, if she would have known that they really meant business, then she may have made a different decision.
Is 50 states in this country, guys. I've been almost around the whole thing, outside Hawaii and Alaska and New Mexico, Vermont, and forget. Point being, there is a family like the Whitakers in every city in this country. I've seen it. Poverty is everywhere. All those people that were so passionate about wanting to help, there's people that you can go and help. And I'll put my money where my mouth is. I've literally went and jumped out of my car, Mark, food, parked. There's opportunities to help. What Mark had done. I being one of them. And it is a great feeling. And I do believe social media can be used for good. It can. Don't let anybody tell you that it can't. It's hard to do those good things in that social media when there's so much bad surrounded by it, dude.
Here, they've been to Mar-a-Lago, the slums of downtown Maryland in the same year. Absolutely none of you are doing that right now.
But dude, the day that you're talking about, you said Mar-a-Lago, but the day that I went to Trump's Golf Club in Bedman at night, the day before we went, boom, I'm a graham cracker. Or like I was where I needed to be when I was there in Baltimore. A round table than you're doing here.
Not even.
And I saw that, and that was like just to bring fearlessness. There was a lot of.
But I would like to say this: there are a lot of people that are podcasters, YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, that do good works. They just don't say it on a platform. Why? Because we know the repercussions. We understand what could potentially happen. So we keep our donations and our charity work completely private. Because if we don't, that you're going to, it's like opening a can of worms. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's really pushing it. I'm glad that we agree on that too. So for me, to say that no one's out here, us podcasters aren't out here doing good work. I have receipts to show that I do good work, but I don't need to show them. I can. I mean, if you want to see them privately, but I don't need to cause those folks any issues because I choose to do what I do.
And talking about fatherlessness, and they invited me to Capitol Hill. And when I got to speak, there was a lot of people running for office up there. And I said, can I ask you guys a question? I said, how many of you have been down there and done any events or conversations? It was crickets. And I said, don't you think this is a problem? You got all these people saying, I know what to do to make your life better here in the projects. I know what to do. I am your answer. Please vote for me. But I can't even come and have a conversation with you. How in the world are you going to tell somebody you can make their life better or that you understand or you got the answer and you can't even set your foot down there, dude?
Right.
You know? And then a lot of the people that get on and complain about this situation right here, there were so many people that criticized and acted like they shouldn't be helped. You know? Like it was beneath them. The comments that used to come up, the looks people would give in public if you're trying to help someone. The world's a cruel place, bro. The world is so much better.
Social media is a cruel place. It absolutely is. We've seen it unfold here in the last month or so. Okay? I think that.
And everybody was welcome.
Taylor was helping us at every single agency.
We saw it, yes. But that's by one section that has happened in your town. I can promise you, my intentions were to be much different. A lot of you know. You saw me in the store. You saw me. I was out and about doing what I said I was going to do. You know, I like being able to go into an airport, dad talk, but not on this level. When I got back home, it went back to normal again. And count on one hand how many times somebody came up to me, oh, you're from this, you know? And it was
Little White House or whatever.
no Roosevelt's.
Roosevelt's, yeah, that's what it was.
That lady made my day.
Yep.
Not
Your
because she
daughter?
talked about me,
Okay.
but people used to ask me all the time when I was on there, Mark, like, what's your podcast? What's your podcast? And people that have second chances. I mentioned my struggle with addiction. I know it can be done. You've got to want it. I know that more than anybody. I wanted it. But
Lead a horse to water.
you can't make them drink. Her too.
I was going to bring that up. I didn't know if you wanted to talk
well,
about
I
it.
think we made it safe. I don't think I burped. I must have had it on. I must have been out of the room. I've been waiting for that burp. But we watched this last night, right, guys? Have you guys all seen the remainder of this? We watched it together last night. There is something that I want to show you. Okay, they have mentioned this podcaster on several different occasions. All right, and you know I have it. I want to review that. Okay, I want to review some of it. We won't get through all of it, but if you guys want me to continue on showing that, I will. But we watched the rest of that together. You know, we didn't watch the first part of it together, but this right here is what they kept mentioning a podcaster. Okay. And they said that he's the only one that was telling the truth. He's the only one that's telling the truth. All right. So let's see exactly what this gentleman was saying. This is not my content. Let me grab their link. The link will be dropped in the chat here, and I got to put it to StreamYard here. But this is who they're talking about. If you guys did not know, okay, if you did not know, let's see there. It's always awesome to listen to somebody else's point of view and share what they have to say, right? So make sure I'm using this underneath the copyright section of 1976. All right. So him and YJ the Arthur and his friend, or the guy that he podcasts with, he's mentioned the podcaster a few times. And that's why I thought we would go over their point of view. I have a whole entire playlist that we can go over at another time, but we can't do it today because it's already been been live for 3 hours. Get the hell out of here. All right, we're going to watch a little bit of this because I find it very interesting on their position. And we're going to listen to it. The link, I'll drop the link again throughout this chat because this is not my content. Make sure we like it too.
What was that, about 3-4 days ago? Talking about the eviction notice that Eric, no play.
The eviction notice hasn't been talked about again, right? We had an eviction notice and an order of protection. You guys recall this? Okay. Okay.
Hey, Eric, he's not playing, people. Put out on BJ. And I guess you seen that video?
Yeah, I know how you feel about it, but I think, and you know how I feel about it, and I stand 10 toes on it.
Okay.
From the things that are alleged that I think is true.
Yeah.
Hey, when you stand in the fire, you're gonna get burned. So you have to take this one, BJ.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into it, though. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna start with that video.
And they said the truth, 95% of what these gentlemen are saying is the truth. There's 5% that isn't, 95% of it is. Now it's our we have to decide for ourselves what's true and what's not in here.
And we kind of go on work in a chronological order of the goings on, just breaking down a few videos. I got some timestamps. I just need to add it back. 2 hours to get here. 10 hours to get there. Wife and kids at home, you know, whole life and, you know, everything that he's got going. That's you know, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And I've seen comments that say, you know, how could you leave your wife and kids to go? And Eric's response is always something to the sort of fact, like when it comes to helping people, he's been doing this all his life. He's his father, I guess, was a pastor, and it's just something that he likes to do. Like, and you take it at face value, not take the shit at face value. So
yeah, Yeah, I mean, people always have their opinions on what somebody else does, and I'm pretty sure his wife understands what he's doing, and she may be the one pushing him to do it. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. So we're gonna start from right here.
BJ served an eviction notice. Good morning, everybody. Details, and I promise you'll get details as we can give them. I know there's going to be a million questions about this. Over the last 24 hours, Patrick and I have been working on getting BJ served an eviction notice, and as of this morning, it has been completed. And I'm on my way to Odd, West Virginia, kind of unexpected and last minute.
So I don't. Do you guys remember the eviction notice? Do you guys remember the eviction notice? Hey, Earth. Do you guys remember this? Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay.
The workers have expressed us they don't feel safe, they feel threatened, and she just doesn't need to be there anymore. It's last week I got a call. Let me say, she doesn't really know me besides me just showing up and doing what I did for the family. I never sat down, never talked to BJ. This would be the second time I've gotten a call. Last week she asked me for $300, and long story short, that week before I went and done all that stuff for the workers, that was coming out of my pocket, guys. And I just said, BJ, I don't have $300 to give you right now, nor would I anyway. But I said, I don't have $300 to give you. And she hung up the phone on me. And I was like,
Same thing with Mark. Mark said BJ did the same exact thing. Was
Yep.
calling her or calling Mark, asking him for money. You know, if he didn't do it, then she, acts erratic, as he said, hanging up the phone.
Let's think about it though. One thing you brought up in our last video on my page was the fact that she never really talked to him. When he's doing these videos and he's with the family, she don't want to be around, but you got the nerve to pick up the phone and call me and ask me for money.
And I like that. I like that perspective. That there's some truth to that, in my opinion.
Nah, that's a red flag right there in itself, bro.
Oh yeah.
wow, that's bold. But I noticed later on that week, everything had been fine up until this point. I tried to call back the family, and I couldn't get them on the phone. And I was like, okay, something's weird. Or they went and talked to me once I got them on the phone. And I was like, yeah, that's weird. And I just had a weird feeling. Now, allegedly, everything I'm saying on here, allegedly, besides the things I'm telling you, I know 100% it's what happened. But I was told this past week she got a phone. They have a house phone. They don't have a cell phone. There's no signal out there. And she locked that phone inside of her camper where the family can't get to it. Everyone in that family has heart problems. Lorraine is 78 years old. She's had stents. She's had heart attacks. Betty's had a heart attack. They need that telephone.
And if BJ's doing that, then shame on BJ, right? She shouldn't do that. Shouldn't keep the phone locked up. That's not right. BJ, do better.
We're not playing games with stuff like this. That's dangerous. Okay. And
Thanks.
amongst other stuff, Larry is feeling threatened. All right. I question myself whether
now listen to this very carefully. There was allegedly a video that someone has that, well, never mind. Let's keep going.
This out there or not, but I think it's important, and there's a reason why. I mean, I just have to do it for his safety. I think Larry gets unfairly judged a lot for what his daughter does. Okay, but it's his daughter. He loves her. He doesn't love the things she does, but he's getting caught up in the mix. And I've heard this from his own grandchildren that if he doesn't do what she tells him, allegedly, that she will say, I'm going to tell the cops that you raped me. Guys, in this country, you don't have to prove anything like that. You just got to make.
That's crazy. I'm glad you started because I want to, ask a question.
Now, we've heard that go around. She's got a drug addiction. Her mind's not hers. I'm not making excuses. It is what it is. I think she's not a very nice human. Now, Larry created that monster, full stop. That came from the grandson. So when did he talk to the grandkids? I still can't get over BJ killing off Larry and talk about the high pitch. All of them seemed shaken when Mark came. I mean, she made up a very, very, I would never say that my dad was unalive if he really wasn't. okay, just to benefit my pockets. That's wild to me. That's a whole nother level of something that I don't know anything about. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, your mind really went there? Wow.
Would make a statement. Do you think, and Larry is her father, right?
Yes.
You remember the last video we reviewed? He asked him, being that I believe it was Eric, asked Larry to talk to her and see if she would get help, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he did that?
I think he mentioned it, and I think he mentioned it kind of in passing, and I think Larry maybe brought it up, and it was not received.
Kind of,
yeah. So, as far as if he mentioned it, I think he did. I can't remember exactly which video I heard that. So, I'm not 1,000%, but I swear I heard him say something about that after that video, but before all of this happened. So, but we didn't think she was going to be receptive of it, and as deep as she is in this addiction, I'm not surprised, you know.
Yeah, of course. I didn't expect her to be receptive.
No.
Go ahead.
And no matter if you can prove it wasn't true, it carries.
But as for this whole, when it comes to the thing about the crazy part about it is this is an inbred family. There's inbreeding that has gone on generations past, and that's why, you know, we have this.
Mm-hmm.
And for BJ to threaten that, like she knows that there's gonna be some people who may be thinking that this may be true simply because of the inbreeding that has happened in the past. So that's crazy. You know, this is a topic that I've never even talked about before, as far as inbreeding, man.
I mean, I feel you, and you feel like I don't use that language. I choose not to, but this is something that I have to feel this guy. It's something else.
It's, you know, we see what it does, and you could look at this picture. Larry's on the right.
Now,
Kenny's
keep in
on.
mind, this is these gentlemen's interpretation. This is their opinions, but this is the reference that they kept giving, that these guys are telling 95% of the truth. Okay, so I went to look it up, right? I went to look it up. And he said that what he says on his podcast is 90. Okay, so we got it. I want to listen. So they are backing this 95%. Okay.
On the far left, you look at Miss Lorraine next to picture. He's speak verbal and things like that.
And because we see what's going on right now, we see what she has done. And now some people may say alleged, but I ain't. So with her going through this addiction, and then what Eric asked Larry to do, now all of a sudden you gonna say he raped you? Oh, I shouldn't say that term, but no, I wouldn't believe that. No, you trying to extort
Right,
money.
I see what they're saying.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they're saying because of how in generation before they had an incest issue, allegedly, apparently. So how it could be taken as a fact if BJ would come out with that type of accusation. I get exactly what they're saying.
There's a lot of weight. Your life will never be the same. And so he's done things he doesn't want to do, i.e., taking gas from someone's house about 4 months ago that wasn't his. And he didn't want to do it, but it was for her. And if you don't do it, there's going to be consequences. I'm told there's other stuff that's been going on that if you don't give me money or if you don't do what I want you to do, there's going to be consequences. Therefore, the Whitakers want their home back. They want to be safe. If you get your stuff, you get your camper and get out of there, we'll be okay. I have a security guard that before any of this took place, we made sure we have a security guard that's going to be there on the Whitakers property 24 hours a day until this has been handled. And maybe even after that. I've never fundraised in this community. If I have to, sometimes.
So here's where the security guard, if you guys remember in this video, this is when the security guard gets thrown in here again. Has anyone ever verified the security guard? Was there a security guard there? Right?
soon, it's because we're paying for someone around the clock to make sure no one comes on that porch. Because guys, I don't know how this is going to be taken, but I can tell you this: we're not playing around. That's why I'm in this car right now, about to make a 10-hour trip, and I'm on my way to Odd, West Virginia to make sure they've had eyeballs on it. Patrick's up there, guys. He's been busting his butt on it, but Patrick can't walk right now. So
Yeah.
I told him, let me.
Okay, so, and this, he says, Patrick's been busting his butt on it. And then, so just listen.
Come up. I can help you more when I'm there. And on top of that, I was supposed to be helping Patrick. Patrick's got a project home, guys. He's got no walls, no insulation. He's got some outer walls, but on the inside, the people in the local area, please help us keep an eye on it. I'm putting this out in the public so people know that's what we're wanting to do, and that's what we're doing. And my God.
So yeah, that was the first video, the initial video that Eric did before he went up. And this next video, he's kind of driving, but D-Love say she about to cut up.
Yeah, she's gonna cut up. And what makes it worse is he's actually telling us what was said. So he can be like a character witness or a witness if she still try to go through it, lying on this man because she can't get her way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know she mad at Eric, boy. I know she mad at him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that BJ is just pissed the hell off at Eric Carroll. Oh, I can imagine. Oh, baby.
She is. And thing about it, you know, I don't think it's wrong that he did put that out. And I think that, like you said, like a character witness, it's like he's putting it on the record that this is what's been going on. I think the grandchildren, he said there's a grandchild that works at a Little Caesars nearby or something, and he just met him kind of randomly. And he's saying that even the grandchild knows about BJ saying this about Larry. And you know, a father's love, man. Hey, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit, but man, oh man, a father's love.
Yeah, I think Eric did the right thing by saying this.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next video. Live stream they did while he was on the road, this next video, and I'm gonna start it at 57, and I'm gonna start it right here.
Taking an emergency trip, 10 hours. Well, someone's already asked, has BJ been arrested?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I don't know much about the security guard situation at all. I have no idea.
Now, so that's something that Patrick can give an update on. I think pretty much anybody that's going to tune in now should be caught up to speed on what's going on. If not, we've got other videos on the page that'll get you there. I got the video from Patrick earlier with the ring bell where she went speeding by and Timmy's outside. So, Patrick, you did report that to the cops, correct?
Yeah, they come down here and he left here looking for her. So whenever she's found, it's not going to be good for her.
And what they're talking about there is they got a ring camera actually on the main Whitaker house. And this ring camera actually caught Timmy outside, and he's just sitting there. And then you see him jump up, and then you see like a blue truck just go zoom down the road. And I think she honked at the same time, like, and then zoom down the road. And yeah, man. Yeah, she already cutting up, to be honest.
She about to crash out.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like, man. That's what it seemed like.
Are they? Did they say that they would contact you back?
No, they didn't.
Okay. People are asking, is Timmy okay after that video that came out? A lot of people from the comments are asking, is he okay right now? Is he safe? Is he okay?
So I want to kind of get into that security that he talks about. The security, what is it? 3, 4. Yeah. So he kind of goes into the whole security. They got someone under around the clock right now. Someone in the chat says, Gentle Tiger says, Larry's an enabler. He is not helping his daughter. He is killing her.
And I've heard that a lot too throughout, like people that email me and stuff. A lot of people feel the same way. Like Larry's not helping his daughter. He's helping to end her life by continually giving her money and ways and the vehicle and not putting his foot down. The guy who was on the other end of that call came out and told the truth since. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was believing that call or not. I don't know. I don't have that call. I've never looked for that call. I may need to listen to it again as I have more information around this situation now. I may interpret it a little different.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it.
Mm.
We gonna get into it, man. It's
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we got somebody. That was what me and Patrick was working on all day yesterday. Was making sure we had somebody there to watch over everything before anything happened. And Patrick, what time did she get there today?
She got there at 7:30 this morning, and he handed it off to her. But I will tell you something about the person that I have.
So Tom has mentioned that they have someone working with the Whitaker family that's in protective custody that is specializes in communication. I don't know that to be a fact. That's what he's saying in the chat. I have no way to confirm or deny that claim. But that's what's being said.
He went 4 tours in Afghanistan, so that kind of gives you an idea what kind of person. He don't care. He's
Not messing around.
No, he won't.
Okay, it looks like Jeff is asking Timmy to pile drive you into the ground. So there's.
I don't know if that'd be a good idea. I mean, at this point, I'd say he'd have the upper hand, but I hope that he wouldn't try something like.
so they got someone. I let that run a little bit too long, but they do got someone up there, and I don't know how long, like how long that can go on. I don't know. As far as protecting them, having someone up there who's watching, because you got to pay somebody. People don't. People do things off of a good graces and all of that, but something like that. Security, armed, probably more than likely, being that he, did 4 tours. I'm pretty sure he got some with him. So
Yeah. But being out the house, you wonder where they're gonna go. And in the state of mind that she's in, especially that she's being, I guess you could use the term, rejected of her wishes.
So someone in the chat saying it wasn't a man, that was the security guard. It was a female. I cannot confirm or deny that. I have no way to confirm or deny that, people. Okay.
That spells crash out, jail time. And when you're speaking about security, that's security. You mean to tell me you're gonna pay him to be there every day for how long? Because eventually, if he leaves and if she's passing by the home, she's gonna realize he's no longer there. So right. I don't know how long this is gonna be effective, but I'm pretty sure she's not gonna show up while they're there.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk. Let me see. This contract. They're trying to work up this contract for this new house. When it comes to this new house, I've heard some things, and it's kind of hard, to gauge things. I want to play this part real quick. 542. All right. We'll play this.
Have you fixed and repaired that place? It just we need to start over from new. And one of the things I heard earlier, Patrick, people were wanting to know is if we get this new house, if they're going to let BJ move into the old house. And I assured them that's not going to happen. But
no, because it's going to be ready.
So they're saying across the street, they own that property as well. There used to be a whole camper over there on the other side of the road that they live on. And this was burned down. It was a mysterious burn down when Mark was in the Mark era of the Whitaker family, and Mark showed up, the house was burned down. You seen the ashes, 2 dogs were inside of the camper when it burned down. So those 2 dogs, may they rest in peace because they didn't stand a chance. And so they have a house that they're trying to build across the street. And they're saying basically that they want to put in the contract that BJ can't live in the old house once they move to the new house. And let's listen to some of that.
It'll be written in the contract that whenever they get this new house, that if they decide that they want to let BJ live in that new house, then they forfeit their new house.
And I had forgot about all that. Did you guys remember that? Whenever I re-listened to this, I was like, I don't remember. There's so much that's been done and said, and oh wow. So that was interesting to me too.
Forfeit their. So you catch what he said, man?
Yeah. They don't want her to move in that new house. They're gonna evict her from this old house, and then they go allow her to live at the new house. Right. I think the family is asking for her to leave. This is not Eric's decision. They want her to go because they don't feel safe. So I don't think they're gonna allow her to go. She don't have no rights to live in there. She's a grown woman.
Well, to live at the old house, the old beat up house they're in now. Well, as far as her living there. It's a stipulation. They're trying to put a stipulation in the contract so that BJ can't even live in the old house across the street.
Yeah, it's right across the street.
Right.
And you imagine her being right across the street, she's still gonna be trying to torture them people because she can't get away. And I just want to ask, what is it? Gentle? I can't. You know,
Gentle Tiger.
Gentle Tiger.
That's good.
I messed it all up. Why you say that Larry's enabling her? You know, I'm somewhat familiar with the story, but why would you say he's enabling her? You know what I'm saying? He's killing her. I don't get that.
Well, I think that comes from, and that's something I've heard when it comes to Larry. I think a lot of people, the perception and what actually may be the reality, I say at this point, I think I've seen enough to say that the enabling part, yes, I do think he does play a part in helping her addiction. Because even like the story that he told about, you know, Larry didn't want to go take some gas from somewhere, but he did it to give the gas to BJ type of thing. Just a lot of things like that. And in the past with Mark, it seemed like Larry was trying to cover up things with Mark. So gotcha. I think that's where that come from, you know. As far as killing her, you said, what you gonna say?
That's her choice as far as killing her.
Yeah, she's doing that to herself. Yeah.
Yeah. Now when you talk about a father's love, that plays a part in the enabling aspect that he brings up. So I get it.
Yeah.
You got to make tough decisions and show them tough love. So I understand where you're coming from now.
And that's where I get frustrated with Larry, because he doesn't show tough love. He doesn't stand up for the family. And that's just my perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, people are just kind of commenting.
Cupcake in the building. What's good?
They're all concerned about what BJ may or may not do.
I mean, we are too. We are too. I mean, we are too. That's the reason we got somebody down there guarding it, right? So.
Yeah, ain't nobody worried about her. I mean, she ain't nobody. She'll hit on a woman. She'll go be mean to Betty or her dad or something like that. But as far as her being anything else, ain't nobody worried about her.
Hey, Patrick, man. Hey, they different. They not one and the same. I say that, boy, because Patrick, he get in these little bags. Or I wish they would. I wish he would come up here. I got a something like he be talking a little different than Eric at times. I noticed that. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, you know, she got a boyfriend too, so
yeah.
Not only do I have to worry about her, because she don't have a respect for her own family and doing these types of things, and he damn sure ain't gonna have that.
Right. D-Love say, did she start the fire? That is one question that nobody knows, but I don't know. You know, you can put insurance on a camper. You know, it's just like home insurance. If I'm not mistaken, anybody can correct me at any time. But I feel like she did because it was just odd when Mark went up there and BJ was actually sat. That's the video where BJ actually was over and she sat down at the table and, you know, Betty was, no, nobody was over there and no, nobody got hurt. And, you know, it just, but the thing, the flip side to that whole fire situation is that look at the condition of this house. And you can imagine when it comes to electrical, they're up in the woods, you know, they do have electric. So there could have been a space heater. It could have been an electrical. Like these are not, I mean, there's a bunch of situations that like it's dangerous whenever things aren't maintained. Any house, if it's a house or a camper, if it's not maintained, electrical fires can happen if it's not correct.
Right. So I enjoyed listening to their video. If you notice, even in the Mark's last video of trailer fire, they try to distance themselves from BJ. I think they hope to downplay her future there in hopes they could get cash easier. You know, that I don't know. I don't know their thinking because I have no idea. But my bad, how much was it? Either way, I remember it being a large amount. I may have confused the money apparently stolen out of Betty's nightstand. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the amount, but it was a fairly large amount. And there is a story why they had that much cash. It's not my story to tell. This is a story that I've been told. Rumor has it. So maybe sometime down the line, I feel comfortable telling it, but at this time I don't. What would happen to the house if something ever happened to Betty? That's a good question, Christine. Like whose house was that? Was that Betty? And was it everybody's house or whose house, right? Yeah. So I'm going to drop the link to this guy. I don't want to play his whole video. He deserves to get the views off of this. I don't know him. I did not reach out to get permission to play the entire video. I have a daughter addict or not. If I have a daughter addict or not, if she was to say anything sexually, I would done with her for life, even if she were to get clean. That's a line you don't cross. Mm-hmm. Should be left to Timmy. Tom Mark is very rehearsed in discussions surrounding addiction. His finesse without judgment has made him rich. A lot of people think that. So that's the link. Let me drop it again. I'm not going to play it all, but this is who they're talking about when they say that they're 95% correct. I created a playlist of all of their videos that they have made. YJ, our author. So we may watch one here and there. So, very interesting. Very interesting that Mr. Carroll has decided to come and speak. What does that mean legally for him? I have no idea. I know that he wasn't comfortable saying some things, and that might be because he knows that there's future court appearances. I don't know. But in my opinion, the court system is going to either use him as a witness, they're going to prosecute him, something. He's not clean and dry right now, in my opinion. All right. Like, away from all of this. Why he chose to come out and speak, I don't know. I don't directly communicate with Mr. Carroll. I've never tried to reach out to Mr. Carroll. But do I think this is far from being over? No, I think it's going to take a process. And we know how slow that the court moves. It's like a freaking snail, very, very slowly. And we're just going to stick by and watch what happens. If it goes to trial, I heard some people are going to think about going to that trial. I may or may not. I don't know. I feel like I've invested my time going over this, communicating with you guys with this. I think we're all obsessed in an unhealthy way, including myself. Okay, including myself. We want to know what happens. And I think that happens a lot whenever social media brings you in, sucks you in, gets your time and energy. You want to know what the outcome is. And I think that's normal, right? Mark makes money, but he helps a lot of people too. I read some of the people he interviewed. He got them in a house and got these moms on their feet. Well, good for him. Sorry, after all that, I still don't trust Eric. I think he's got connections. He very well could be. This wasn't to shine light on him being a good guy or a bad guy. I was just putting out what he had said. And I still have questions. I still have unanswered questions. I have questions about the House bill. I have questions about the trust, why he said he was going to do it a month earlier. Well, if that had crossed your mind a month earlier, then why didn't you get the steps in motion? And why would you want to do it on the same day with APS? Knowing that Betty could be frazzled, upset, not a good day. I think that people don't understand when you are away from, and you live way out in the country, going into town is a big thing. We're getting ready to go on to town on Wednesday, everybody. That's something big, and it makes people nervous. I'm not blaming or standing up for anybody involved. The evidence will show what the evidence shows, and we'll go from there. I hope that I reviewed it in a fair manner without giving too much judgment. I have my own personal thoughts on this, but I wouldn't be open to an open chat with different opinions if I just ran a channel that only gave my opinions and nobody else's opinions and kept an open chat. So that's why I kind of step around the way I do, because I want to have an open question and answer session with my friends in my phone. Inheriting, that is nothing but a headache. And I'll tell you, I would want to inherit it. Why is Mark a bad man? I don't know why Mark's a bad man. Some of his stuff I don't care much for, but you can't take it away. The guy is an excellent photographer. The way he puts things together is freaking professional. He does he's had a very lengthy career in photography, and I don't take away that credit. For me, some of the stuff isn't in my taste, just like I'm not for everybody and he's not for everybody, right? People can have their thoughts and opinions. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. His content, just some of it isn't for me, just like my content isn't for everybody. You know, Mark calls himself giving a voice to the people society wants to ignore, and that's his choice. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's good, bad, ugly. I just don't watch all of Mr. Latte's stuff because some of it I'm not down with, you know. But I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying he's not my cup of tea, and I'm not everybody's cup of tea. We know that, honey. Okay, we know that. We know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I think people, but they're literally begging for it. So I think it's intriguing at times. Yeah, I have kept up with the Rebecca thing. But I don't watch a lot of it anymore. Yeah, I don't watch a lot of it anymore because I feel bad for Rebecca. I really do. I wish she would get sober. But that's why some people die in addiction, because some people don't get sober and some people do. But I still believe if there's still a breath left in somebody, there's an opportunity for them to be sober and turn their life around. Okay. And I'm not one to sit up here and judge. And I know how it feels being called names that you're not, because I've been and lately been called names that I'm truly not. And it is what it is, right? Bubble says, you're my cup of tea, Lady K. Thank you. Rebecca's still a mess. I know, Kelly. I was waiting. I've been waiting kind of for an update, right? Because we hadn't heard anything. I'm like, maybe she's really doing treatment. And she has had so many offers to do exactly what Rebecca wants to do. You know what I mean? Like in the fashion and all that. And that's where her heart is. And she just cannot put the drugs down. And that shows you how drugs can take effect of your body, mind, and soul. Even if your dream can be met immediately if you're just sober, and they can't put it down. And that stems to BJ too. Her being addicted and functioning and doing what she's done with people that's tried to come in and help this family has absolutely, in my opinion, has kept her family from living out their older years in a peaceful, clean environment with the things that they need. Her addiction. And that's my opinion. I'm not stating that as a fact. What I'm seeing, the roads always lead back to who? With Mark, it led back to who? With this situation, it led back to who? Okay. I mean, that's just the public stuff that we're watching, right? So it's unfortunate. I'm not trying to lay the world at her feet. Okay, I'm not. But what my perspective of what's going on is, this is where the loads keeps taking us down, you know? And it's sad. It's really sad. Addiction is hard. It's real. It's rough for everyone that's involved. Me too, Sassy. And look what time it is, baby. Sassy, you know what time it is. She's like, she about to go. What day is it? It's Sunday night steak night. Yes, honey, Sunday night steak night. So I appreciate you guys hanging out here as long as you have today. This is a super long stream for me. I normally do 2 hours and done, baby. But today we went a little over. But I want to make sure that I tell you guys thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with me today. I had a good time. Last night I had a good time. Tonight is Sunday night steak night, and I watched TLC. That is another thing that I love to watch is TLC. The 90 days, all of the TLC on Sunday night. Okay, so if you're not into that, go check it out if you've never watched it before. And I will probably catch you guys some tomorrow. We got to paint. We're gonna have a paint afternoon. I promise you guys. Last Sunday, we painted with my members only. We'll do it again, but I really wanted to cover this today. So no one told me what to paint, so it's all your fault. You suck. You didn't tell me what to paint. I'm kidding. All right, guys, until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of each other out there. And make sure you wash your hands after you pee. I know your mother taught you better.
I never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up